we'll run by you. We'll start with this one. The Bachelorette star Jen Tran. She is upset because her ex-fiance, Devin Strader, shared their private text messages publicly.
You didn't have to do that.
Jen said, I have no idea why someone would do this, let alone someone I was engaged to. Jen and Devin got engaged during the Bachelorette season 21 finale, but confirmed their breakup during the After the Rose special. A week later, Devin posted a 13-minute Instagram video, including screenshots of their private messages. Jen felt betrayed and disrespected, saying, I don't have a problem with him going out there and saying that what he needs to say, but I have a problem with him invading my privacy and releasing texts without telling me.
As I recall, in the few minutes of the series that I saw, she didn't really care that much for him, and then she had to work to supposedly fall in love with him, and all this stuff is just, it's a crock of crap.
Well, she proposed to him.
Yeah.
So Devin later deleted the video and posted an apology, but Jen has no plans to watch it. Jen called the breakup a blessing in disguise and said her appearance on the podcast that she was on would be the last time she addressed the issue publicly. She's now focusing on Dancing with the Stars.
Is that so? That seems to be the usual progression now, right? You're a unchosen contestant on The Bachelor,
and
then you become the Bachelorette, and then you move on to Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah,
right?
if you're popular enough, it happens.
Okay.
So that's coming out next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Paola Mayfield of 90 Day Fiancé has found a new way to show off her star power. Turns out she's joining the upcoming season of WOW, the Women of Wrestling.
Yeah, she's got major star power.
David McLean, co-founder of the organization, said, we couldn't be more thrilled to have Paola Mayfield join WOW, Women of Wrestling. I have been following her wrestling journey and success on reality TV for some time now, and we can't wait to see her take her talents and flair to the WOW ring in the new season. Mayfield is actually... She has actually wrestled before.
Has she?
Getting into the ring back in 2021. Fans are going to have a chance to see if she's got what it takes to dominate the ring soon. The new season premieres this Saturday.
When I was coming up as a little boy watching wrestle WWF at the time with Hulk Hogan, and Nick, I don't know if you were in the same boat as me, but I would watch that and then glow.
Yeah.
Like
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
I mean, they had women wrestlers, like you had like Wendy Richter and you know, and but like the glow wrestling, which in hindsight, I'm like, did they do that like in a hotel boardroom, ballroom? You know what I mean?
It looked cheesy. It looked cheap. Certainly, yeah.
Okay,
and
so
then
did
they
you
did
ever
the
watch-
series.
Did you ever watch Glow? Yeah, Steve, that series with Mark Maron is fantastic, and Allison Bree's in it as well. And it's it's a fictional look at what Glow was in the '80s, but it's really well done.
I think I've only watched like one episode.
Okay, yeah, it's on
but
Netflix.
is it worth?
Yeah,
okay,
it's great.
So, Nikki Garcia, speaking of wrestling, recently filed for divorce from Artem Chigvintsev, and now we know a bit more about what she wants in the divorce. First up, she's looking to keep sole legal and physical custody of her son, Mateo. Nikki cited irreconcilable differences in her divorce petition. She also cited August 29th as the end of her marriage, the same day that Artem was arrested for felony corporal injury to a spouse or cohabitant. No former charges have been brought against him at this time. But the retired professional wrestler also asked that spousal support not be awarded to her or Artem. As for Mateo, she's apparently open to Artem getting visitation rights.
That was blissful when it first came on the scene and ends with the domestic violence.
All right, Jennifer Lopez is moving on not only from her failed marriage, but when it comes to where she'll live next. So J-Lo is reportedly in negotiations to purchase the legendary Los Angeles property known as Azria Estate.
This thing is sprawling.
It was once owned by Max Azria, the founder of the BCBG fashion line. Listen to this. The 30,000 square foot Holmby Hills estate. 30,000 square feet.
It's little.
We accidentally, when we were shopping around for homes, when Claire moved down from New York, we went to a place that I don't know how we ended up in this listing that was 10,000 square feet.
Well, are you kidding me?
I'm walking around. I'm like, the second we pulled up, I'm like, this is not this is not for us. But we went inside anyway.
Let's go in and check it out. We're here.
It was sprawling. This is 3 times that size.
Yeah,
It looks like it almost looks like it could be the White House. Like it's obviously all white. It's beautiful, like a resort. Obviously, 30,000 square feet. It looks like it could.
You'd think it was a hotel.
You'd think it was like a boutique hotel.
Okay. It has 14 bedrooms, a greenhouse, a guest house, an infinity pool with a sauna, an in-home theater, and a game room. It sits on a 3-acre lot that comes complete with gardens. It's possible that she fell in love with the estate while on the job. Several scenes from her recent movie, Atlas, were filmed there. Word is she's trying to get the purchase price down below $40 million.
She's currently working on Butkus, Preston, which is the sequel.
Butkus, the sequel?
Did anybody watch it? Atlas?
No.
Is it the sci-fi movie on Netflix? I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah.
It was...
listen,
I tell you what, the special effects were better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, it was, story-wise, though.
Yeah, it's an AI kind of thing.
You know what, though? 30,000 square feet on 3 acres. That's not...
It's like the whole property.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, too. As far as having big grounds, that's comparative to the size of the house, that's kind of crammed in there.
You could walk to your neighbors here.
Yeah.
That's what she loves about it. It's like, Jenny from the block.
Right. Tyrese Gibson has broken his silence regarding his recent child support issues. The actor had been arrested for failing to pay child support to his ex-wife, Samantha Lee. Gibson wants to set the record straight. He says, I was detained, not arrested, for less than 2 hours and released immediately after the great work of my attorney. Tanya Mitchell-Graham's notice of intent to appeal was filed into the clerk's office minutes after the judge's ruling.
And I am not a deadbeat dad. I'm an uninvolved father.
Wait, he was here, right?
I want to say he was.
In our studio?
Yeah.
I thought. Well, Steve, you remember that bit? Hey, I'm Tyrese. Whenever I'm in Philadelphia, and want to get some stinky on my hang down.
I still have that, I think. Somewhere.
I see Kathy Romano.
You know what though? Wait a minute. Maybe it was Sixers, and I interviewed him, and then that's where that.
Okay.
Maybe I came back with a story.
That's exactly.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
He added that he never stopped paying child support and said that he would be stepping away from social media to focus on his family.
He never stopped. He took a pause.
Yeah, he just quit doing it.
Yeah.
So this was sad news to see. Chad McQueen, who famously played bleach blonde Cobra Kai member Dutch in the first 2 Karate Kid movies, has passed away.
And he always seemed the most crazy.
He was the only son of Hollywood legend Steve McQueen, by the way. Chad passed Wednesday at his ranch in Palm Desert, California. It says as a result of organ failure, according to his longtime attorney. So I don't know what led to that organ failure.
So it said he had an injury of sorts, and I don't know what. And he was a race driver. He did not super.
He was professional.
Yeah. So, but they didn't have many details. But it just said he'd suffered an injury a little while back. And
Interesting. His dad. I was saying to Preston earlier that Steve McQueen died because he had cancer, which they believe was as a result. At that time, they were using asbestos in the fire retardant gear that race car drivers would wear. And so they believe that led to his death.
And Steve McQueen was younger than
54,
Chad.
I believe.
So.
Yeah.
I don't recall. I did watch the Cobra Kai, and I know that a bunch of the dudes came back. Was he part of that crew that came back?
I went and looked up his IMDb this morning, and there was no credit for him.
Okay.
So I think they mentioned Dutch in that episode.
Yeah.
So at least they did that, and for whatever reason, I don't think he was in it.
Dude had an intense look, man.
Yep.
He definitely, to my memory, was the craziest of those guys in Karate Kid.
I think in the locker room before the tournament, he gets up in Daniel's face and he's like, "Look, you want to go now?" It looks really crazy. Outside of his acting career, McQueen was a professional racer. He competed in different types of racing, including the Baja 1000 and motocross. And he actually won the World Mini Grand Prix when he was only 12 years old. We have a clip, Case?
This is this from Karate Kid, Steve? The clip you sent over?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Right, here we go.
Well, look what we have here, fellas. Our little friend Danielle. Hello, Danielle. What's the matter? Mommy not here to dress you? Hey, I'm talking to you, Mom. Come on, make a move! Hey, save it for the ring.
Yep.
Save it for the ring.
Little unhinged in that. Yeah, so sad news. I'm curious as to what happened, so maybe we'll find out down the road. Beverly Hills 90210 star Jenny Garth is only 52, but she's revealed she's already undergone 2 separate hip replacement surgeries.
Wow.
Yeah, she told Self Magazine yesterday, "I've kept it a secret for so long. But I'm no longer in a place where I want to hide things. I had wished during my journey of the first surgery that I could share my experience with people because there's such a stigma around getting any of your joints replaced.
Really?
This is something that doesn't just affect 80-year-olds, she said.
But she competes a lot in the blood sport. I know that.
She had the first surgery when she was just 48 and the second one earlier this year.
I mean, you know what? It probably is like
genetic.
Yeah, because a friend of mine had it in his 40s as well. He had to have both of them done, and the first one went very well. Second one did not, and they had to go back in, reopen them up.
Same scenario. A friend of mine had he was 44.
Yeah,
and had the same thing. Yeah,
and they told him it was genetic. His father had it when he was in his 40s and all that kind of stuff.
Is the stigma that you are an old person?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, that's
so
not the worst stigma in the world.
she had hip pain prior to the first surgery, and a doctor confirmed she had osteoarthritis, a condition that her parents and sister have as well. So it's definitely.
I wonder. My mom had her hip replaced. My little brother, my younger brother, I should say, is. I think he is. It's looking like that might have to happen.
Oh, really?
At a certain point, but I know that when my mom had it, I was really surprised with how quickly the recovery.
Can you opt to
She
have
could walk that day.
someone else's hip replaced?
No, well, yeah, it's not going to do anything for you though.
Do you guys see the QVC billboards with her on it, Jenny Garth on it? They're doing I forget, I don't know exactly what the campaign is, but it's basically like
Is it for hip replacement?
No, it's like beautiful and 50, or like 50 and beautiful, something like that. And she's one of the celebrities who's doing it. And she on the billboard, I look at her, I'm like, you're 50. Like
she looks great.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. And also, there's a couple of women I don't recognize them. I don't know who they are, but they're all just gorgeous at 50. I'm like, you know what? If I look like that at 50
is
I'd be
fabulous.
all right. And listen, it's not, some of them had some work done, and that's okay, but none of them are like, a Kim Kardashian where they're unrecognizable.
Kathy got another 20 years to worry
I know.
about.
I don't even have to worry about it. I'm not
You're
even
fine.
close to that. Not even close.
All right, as news trickles in about Happy Gilmore 2, any tidbit along the long-awaited sequel is welcome. Julie Bowen, who played Virginia Vennett in the original and is returning for the sequel, was on Today with Hoda and Jenna yesterday, and she was asked what she could reveal about the film. She said absolutely zero, and then threw that out the window when she was asked if her character and Adam Sandler's character were still together. She said, yes, we're very much together. And then Jenna Bush said, wait a minute, that's a spoiler alert? Is that bad? And she goes, no, she goes, you can put that. And then she goes, I think I'm allowed to say that. Do we have clips?
Yes, we do.
Okay, let's roll that.
It was the first movie I ever did. Yeah. And I thought I really was uncomfortable with my hair in it. Really uncomfortable. And I remember sort of crying in my trailer, and I said, no one's going to see it. It's okay. And I'm like, no one's going to see it. It's the only movie my dad has watched over and over.
I like her hair in that movie. I think she looks great with short hair. And here's the spoiler.
Are y'all together? Yes, we are very much together.
Oh, well, you just told us a spoiler alert, which we'll put on the internet. No, it's not.
No, that's not. Yeah, you can put that on the internet.
We'll
That's fine.
Julie Bowen in Horrible Bosses.
Oh, my God.
Is
so sexy.
Unbelievable.
Incredibly sexy.
Yeah. The dream sequence in Happy Gilmore was walking around
with the beer,
and lingerie and the beard. Yeah, that's a pretty good one, too.
That's not too bad, too. Yeah. So, all right. Let me see what else I want to mention. The Emmy Awards are this weekend. There's stiff competition this year. Some fan favorite shows up for an eye-watering amount of awards. Steve, you love Shogun. It's leading with 25 nominations.
Yeah, it's an amazing series.
Yeah. Then another great one, The Bear, is second with 23 nominations, and Only Murders in the Building with 21.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good stuff out there. Sofia Vergara could make history as she became the first Latina born in a Latin country nominated in lead actress in limited series category, though it's her fifth nom overall. Other big first nominations include Paul Rudd, Ryan Gosling, Naomi Watts, Divine Joy Randolph, Hiroyuki Sanada, and more are getting their first nominations. And we have to wait and see. It is on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC, and it'll be hosted by Eugene Levy and Dan Levy. So,
yeah, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
This is coming because, and they pointed this out, it feels like we just had the Emmy Awards, and because of delays and so on and so forth, it's closer. The awards are closer to each other than they've ever been.
Yes.
Yeah.
Larry David is escaping the small screen and taking his show on the road. The creator of Seinfeld and Curb will bring A Conversation with Larry David shows to 10 cities this fall. David told the news on Instagram saying that the tour kicks off September 20th with a previously announced show in Denver and ends December 5th in Hollywood, Florida, hitting cities in Seattle and, Atlanta along the way. At each show, he'll be joined by a mystery moderator. Peyton Manning will join him at the event in Denver, which is on sale now. And according to Live Nation, the shows will feature an informal discussion about his time on Seinfeld, Curb, and everything in between.
I think that could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's at the Met on October 22.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
There's a great Jiminy Glick, Martin Short interviewing him, a clip floating around where he's asking, you were on a show called Fridays. And he goes, what was that about? And he goes, well, it was on Fridays. And but unlike Saturday Night Live, and he goes, it wasn't funny.
True.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk to him? Do you think he'd be a good interview or a difficult interview?
I think he'd be a good interview. He's some people can't see. He is who he is, and that irascible thing is part of who he is. Mm-hmm. And if you go along with it and have fun, it's like, Richard Lewis. You go along with the flow, and you're going to get some great stuff.
Right. The worst part of Larry would show up on the TV show, so that would highlight the terrible parts of his personality. I think the real Larry David is a lot more fun. And we had a great interview with Jerry Seinfeld last year, and I thought I was nervous about that. I didn't know what Jerry was going to be like. So if he comes on, I bet he'd be a great interview.
Okay. And then I want to mention this. The first trailer for the latest adaptation of Stephen King's Salem's Lot is out. The novel, which has been adapted for television twice before, 1979 and 2004, now has its third adaptation coming to Max. And the feature film stars Louis Pullman as Ben Mears, an author digging into the twisted history of the town where he grew up and discovering things are even more twisted in the present. The movie co-stars Mackenzie Lee, Bill Camp, Pilu Asbak, Alfre Woodard, and William Sadler.
So, did you see the Rob Lowe version?
I think I did.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I thought of it. I probably would have, if it would have been really good, I would go, oh my God, yes, I saw that. Yeah.
So they incorporated some things that I assume were present in the never read the source material, but for example, the one of the vampires has the ability, they're like stretching themselves through like a tunnel, like Rob Lowe's being held in a jail, and he's coming through like the air vent. I forget exactly what it was, but it was something that I thought was pretty cool. For me, the Toby Hooper, the original David Soul version, I mean, that just thunders.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely scarred me as a kid. When it's Danny Glick, I think, is the one is scratching at the window. I mean, it just absolutely terrified me. I couldn't go near a window at night.
We used to have a cutout of Danny Glick on the window here.
Scared the hell out of me. I was like, can we please take that down now?
Yeah, you know what, Preston? Listen, even as an adult, I have a hard time looking out the window at night.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for something. A ghost, a ghoul, a robber.
In the trailer, I was kind of hoping they wouldn't show that at all because I want to be completely surprised by it. But they show a little snippet of the window scene. But the book is brilliant. It's just flat out scary. It's just scary.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of books have actually scared me.
Yeah.
That one scared me. So the trailer is out, and the movie will be out on Max October 3rd, by the way. Speaking of movies, I have a list of ones that are opening this weekend.
Ready?
So we have Speak No Evil opening. It's a horror mystery film starring James McAvoy, Mackenzie Davis, and Dan Hoff. When an American family is invited to spend the weekend at the idyllic country estate of a charming British family they befriended on vacation, what begins as a dream holiday soon wraps into a snarled psychological nightmare. It's an hour and 50 minutes long. It's rated R. A wide theater release, and Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 90%.
Oh, not bad,
Pretty
right?
sweet deal. James been seen around Philly lately? Remember he was...
Yeah, he's still dating the girl from Delaware County, but they live... They live in London or just outside of London.
Okay.
Little Delco.
They live in Little Delco. Yes, of course. So I haven't. We kind of just communicate occasionally through text and on Instagram. Like I'll see her post. So I haven't seen them here lately.
Did you see that picture of him at Dorney a few months ago? Yeah, he was in town.
No.
Yeah, and so it was after. It was before the show did the appearance there.
Okay.
But yeah, he was just riding on roller coasters at Dorney.
Dude, we're all around each other.
I know.
We had a great interview with him a while back. The night we hung out with him at Night's event, the Halloween party, he was such a nice guy.
Nick sent me the Dorney picture, and he was like, "Next year?" Question mark.
So, all right, the movie opens this weekend, Speak No Evil. Then next is My Old Ass. It's a comedy and drama, and it stars Aubrey Plaza, Maisie Stella, Peter Hines White. An 18th birthday mushroom trip brings free-spirited Elliot face-to-face with her wisecracking 39-year-old self. But when Elliot's old ass starts handing out warnings about what her younger self should and shouldn't do, Elliot realizes that she has to rethink everything about family, love, and what's becoming a transformative summer. It is an hour and 29 minutes long. It's rated R. It's a wide theater release, and Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 91%.
Oh,
Two good movies.
Some good scores.
Yeah.
All right, some clips. Let's do that. How to Die Alone follows a neurotic, overweight black woman who has a brush with death and suddenly refuses to settle for anything less than the life she wants. And here, Natasha Rothwell talks about the empowerment this role gives her, leading her to become, quote, that bitch no matter what.
One of my favorite things is delighting and surprising audiences, and to be a part of a show that allows me, a plus-size black woman, to take up space and to have the full range of emotion and have the depth to play, the slapstick, make you feel and make you think. It was just a privilege to be able to do it because it's life.
Shut the f*** up!
How to Die Alone premieres Sunday, and you can find that on Hulu. Here's our next clip. The Tulsa King saga continues with Dwight continuing to grow his criminal empire with a group of unlikely characters. And here, Neil McDonough talks about working with Sylvester Stallone.
Not only does he know his lines, he knows my lines. He knows exactly what we did the scene before, though it was shot 2 weeks ago. He knows what's on the scene next, though we're not shooting for weeks to come. He knows the camera angles, and he helps write the scripts. And a freaking joy to work with.
Shut the f*** up!
Tulsa King is season 2 premieres Sunday, and you can find that on Paramount Plus, by the way. All right, there you go. Will you? One more time, please. Will you? And that's your entertainment report. All right, we've got stuff to get to today. It's Friday morning. We do all our Friday giveaways. We're going to do the Connoisseur at some point today. And we will have as a guest in our studio adult film star Alexis, Texas.
Yeah.
Who's performing at various Club Risque locations throughout the weekend. We'll chat with her in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll take a break, come back. Back School A to Z. We're in the something portion of the S category. Stay with us.
And it's susceptible to first pass metabolism, which is really just a fancy way of saying that a portion of what's taken in by mouth is filtered through the gut and the liver, and you're not really hitting. It's not really hitting your bloodstream.
You're going right in.
Yeah, exactly.
All
so
right.
this is 100% absorption. It bypasses your GI tract. It's not filtered as much. It's going right into the blood cells.
Okay. So how are you feeling? Whenever I've had an IV, it's weird because you'll start to feel it. I don't know if that's a placebo
What, like
thing
in
going
your
on.
body?
Well, you start to feel
Cold.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Really? It's very common. You feel cold pretty much instantly. Your hand or your arm, wherever it's infusing, you'll start to feel a little cold. A lot of people taste the B vitamins. Do you taste it, Tom?
No.
Yeah. So,
I taste the donut I had.
yeah, a majority of people will taste those B vitamins. It kind of tastes like a Flintstones vitamin. It's not too terrible. But it's the hydration that's really giving you that immediate difference.
Huh.
We have a lot of people that love B12 in their infusions. It's
B12 is the big thing. You always hear B12 mentioned.
And I tried B12, and I was not looking to think. I didn't want to pretend it was working if it didn't. So I was during the day. I go, I don't know if I feel it. At night, absolutely. What I always say is clear-headed, and I did it one more time. I don't need to do it every day, but it was another thing I was going to. I was like, God, I like the way that was the first time. I went and did it again, and lightheaded, not lightheaded, clear-headed, And to me, it feels like the B12 right now, but like 3 times.
How often do you do it, Todd?
I've only done the B12 twice.
Just twice? Okay.
Yeah, so this to me, the closest I can get to ever feeling it was that. This right now, even now, and it's only been in there for 20 minutes, it feels like 3 times that. It feels very nice.
All right, so should you go to your doctor before you do something like this?
So we actually
Let's keep them out of this.
We have physicians on staff. All of our staff are critical care nurses, so ER, ICU, lots of experience. And our physicians are also part of this.
Okay.
All right, the reason I ask is because I remember I started taking a multivitamin because I thought you should take a multivitamin. And then my doctor was like, don't take a multivitamin. You shouldn't take that. You should check with me before you take any vitamins of any type because
Always
you
good.
may not need those or they may be counterproductive.
Well, a lot of these facilities, at least the ones that I know of, it is either retired nurses or nurses who are out of their field that are now moving on to open up something like this.
Yeah, we kind of chose a little bit of a different business model. We wanted our nurses to still be based in hospitals, skills very fresh. They're great at IVs. They're quick to think. They're just more prepared. I feel like when they have been in action and they're working in hospitals and then coming into work.
You want actual medical personnel doing this. You don't want a guy in a van doing
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah.
All right. So and you. So this is something that you're digging. So how amongst other comedians and stuff, do you see this a lot? Other people, entertainers, using this a lot?
I've just always heard stories like, they got someone didn't feel well. They got a mobile. They called it a mobile nurse.
Yeah.
And they come because they're nurses. They're registered nurses.
It's a classic, Todd. Because he it's the same reason why you serve your water in a glass jug in your and it's the reason why you wanted a circular driveway. You just sort of project wealth when it comes to this sort of stuff, right?
Well, you just want to find out. What are you talking about?
He's talking about you. You wanted the hedges trimmed when you were a kid. You're about presentation. Yeah. You're about making sure you're at your best.
Well, why not?
Yes.
Well, why not? Do you have a company that come out and put some low energy in you? I want to have a little lower energy.
I want to be sedate and a social outcast.
And I want to tell you guys something, and I don't mean to jump right to it, but I know how it works. You got to get funny quick. People, can I tell you something? Go off the top. When I come in here every time, how can I get people to come to my show? Not like in a begging way. Look, you go to Netflix. If you think I'm funny, if you're not familiar with me. Also, by the way, tonight I will be on Jimmy Kimmel. Now, we already recorded it, but we did it from his club in Las Vegas. And it's with the whole band, and it's the most different stand-up set I've ever done, seriously, in my career on late-night television.
You've been calling this the event of a lifetime.
I have.
Yes.
There you go. It's what it says. That's
the
the name of my tour.
of a lifetime, and that's saying a lot.
And I have the whole band with me on the show. So I've never done a late-night set with the whole band.
Yeah.
So they're all there. John over here, he is the keyboard guy in the band.
And he's currently he blew right through his bag.
Look at that. Seriously, his bag's
bag is
almost empty.
Yeah, you're right.
What is it about a keyboard player that has them suck up their juice quicker?
Is he in your
Steve
Netflix?
By the way, Steve, you got 3 cackles out of me this morning, and it's like not the most appealing thing about yourself because you think that's who you really are. In the other room, you said something. I went. I'm like, I guess that's how I laugh when I don't have time to do the fake laugh, like,
Todd, is John in your Netflix special?
No, John is not.
Okay,
John in that Netflix
When are you going to
special.
film your Netflix special?
Well, I'm getting close. I'm getting close to film the one that aired already.
I love the last one, by the way.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is when you come to my live show, I seriously take responsibility for the minute you get in there, I want it to be an experience. When you're buying your ticket, what it's like, the music you're listening to in the bar before you go into the showroom, what you hear when you leave the showroom. So and then the band as people are being sat. So I really care about the show. So if that's any reason, because people spend money they don't have. Sometimes they spend money they don't have. They park, babysitters, everything ends up costing. And as I do comedy longer, I try to remember that. I've made mistakes in the past when you didn't give it your best. So now,
put your hand down so that you drain quicker.
Hey, by the way, he just reached over to calm Todd down for a moment while he's streaming done.
So your Netflix special is really, really great. Very, very meticulous. And I know all stand-up comedians or most successful stand-up comedians really, every single beat is rehearsed and practiced. And with the band, you take it to a whole new level. Now, I had also heard when you talk about the experience for the fan, for the people that are spending money to go to your show, that I heard that you, even with the green room, you will go in and you'll spend money and you'll decorate the green room just to sort of make sure that it's
it gets sometimes that stuff, and I don't know if it's my own insecurities. It gets exaggerated, but basically what I've done is you're in a green room. It's really bright.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lamp. Most clubs, if they figured out after years, if it's people are going to be hanging in here, that is not conducive to hanging out.
You want mood lighting.
So at Target, you buy a lamp and you leave it. Right. You leave it for the club. You're like, there you go, and now hopefully every comedian uses it.
I hear
stuff like
it's
that.
about presentation. I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah.
So you're very proud of this. I have to ask you because on your Twitter page you have all these animations, all these cartoons to promoting the show. Mm-hmm. Is there the chance that we're going to see a Todd Glass animated series or
no? But it's fun. The Josh would take these. They were called mashups. They would take literally you talking about a sketch and turn it into a sketch. It was really a cool way to do it.
They're well done.
Yeah, because you're just talking it. Like sometimes you'll talk a sketch. You'll be like, yeah, what if this? And they would take it to life. And they ended up on the internet.
They're very funny. They're bits of your routines and stuff, and they're animated, and it's the animation's top level.
And did I ever tell you that speaking of animation? Speaking of that, speaking of other things, this happens, a little turnaround, you put it all in a bowl. Next thing you know, who's to say you can't talk about the frame situation that happened before? So,
you have a personal experience?
You never know the way it turns around in conversation.
Best segue I've ever.
Yeah.
But seriously, was Dunkirk necessary?
Put it in a bowl, spin it around.
I brought my dad. I don't mean to, but by the way, my dad did pass away. That is the truth.
Yes.
But I brought him to after he passed away, I dragged him to a frame shop. And I told them, this is a true story. That's why I was wanting to get in here. How important it was to me. I said, I said, this is my dad. He's dead. And I want to have him framed. And I go back next week.
Oh, no.
He's not there.
Oh,
and
no.
the shirt is framed.
Oh,
I go, what are you doing, my dad?
There was a body.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that pisses you off. You tell me you didn't pay.
Can I add my serious thoughts to that for what it's worth?
Serious
that wasn't my serious.
Wait, that didn't happen?
That wasn't my serious. Is that I know from knowing this happened once with somebody's pictures after a wedding.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but the most empathy that it is met with, the easier it makes for you to try to go. Like if it's like I think what happens. Let's say it's a picture of your grandmother, whatever it is. Yeah. What would you have wanted your grandmother to do in that situation? Like to be nice to this person, to be. Like she'd probably want it to be the best scenario in the world. So if someone meets it with knowing how important it is, like to just go, they look genuinely crushed. To me, it would make it easier to go, look, people make mistakes, even on these big things, and try to meet it with, it sucks, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But it helps when it's met with empathy. And I know someone that dealt with it once with pictures. It wasn't met. It was met with just like matter of factness. Like, yeah, sometimes that happens. It's like, oh, I think this person needs more than that right now.
Yeah. Would you freak out? Would you?
I would try to. I really would. Hopefully, try to go to the best place I could be and go, I could do this. This is that person. I know it sounds a little cheesy. It's basically me. Like, could you say, could have that happened to you? Yeah, I could have done a stupid thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they lost a body on you. I mean, that's
your
father.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
your deceased dad.
I mean, does the shirt at least still smell like him, or
a little bit?
Why have we as a society not ever entertained the notion of taxidermy when it comes to loved ones?
I heard it's illegal. I asked somebody once, like 10 years ago, and it's illegal.
I've only seen it in foreign countries where they've done stuff like that.
No.
Yeah, you don't look healthy.
Not taxidermy. They bury it.
It depends on what place you bring it to. I know
Maybe
a guy.
I can get it next time I come in here. Could you get a taxidermist that does people? I want to start talking to him on your show, and then I want to be left here in the Preston and Steve studio. If I die and you're still doing the show, I want to sit over in the corner with a drip bag from City Hydration.
Yep.
Can I tell you something that I noticed? Now, do you want it to be about what we're talking about right now, or just be something completely
different? Can I get serious?
Whatever.
Whatever you want.
Let's get serious.
Well, I think it's great. People that There's a name for these people, and they're called 2 minute. They want to tell you how close to where they live is to something, and it really is a thing. These people that go like, "Oh, where I live in 2 minutes. I'm in Gulf Mills in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I get to the Tony to my bridge 8 minutes. 8 minutes I get there. John, fill it in the background real much. 2 minutes.
I go 9 minutes.
9 minutes. I get down there. 17 minutes. I'm in Cherry Hill. 17 minutes. I get to Cherry Hill. 14. I get 2 hours. 2 hours. I get in my car to Florida on a plane. I get on 16 minutes. I'm in Pennsauken. I'm in Pennsauken in 16 minutes, and that's door to door. I can get on a jitney, get to Wildwood, New Jersey, 1 hour and 7 minutes. There you go.
Wow. It's true, though. There are people who do that.
Wow, the bag's working.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll tell you what. Side note, it's about 20 minutes to city hydration from here.
Picture that bit.
Dude, listen, my dad was amazing at that. So my dad drove a truck for a living. He would say, "I'll be home in 7 minutes." He was home in 7 minutes. I mean, and it was never like
he would just sit outside with the truck on.
No, usually,
God damn it, I made it in 4 minutes.
Usually, people round it to the nearest 5 minute, right? So it's like, oh, I'll be there in a half hour. I'll be there in 25 minutes. My dad would be like, "All right, I'll be there in 16 minutes," and it was always.
And they drive reckless back then. If your dad wanted to be right on time, he'd kill the whole family. No, it's 8 minutes away. Turning hard corners. But I do want to say this.
Please.
Okay. I got nothing.
No.
Hey, how's the podcast going?
My podcast got canceled. Thank you. I asked you not to bring it up when I saw you in the hallway. The podcast is going great.
I'm a fan.
Is going great. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll tell you, you're all right. I'll tell you.
I'm getting my B12 bag.
See the bit you just 2 minutes, 4 minutes, just John filling in. Imagine that, but with 5 band members doing that. It's overwhelming.
You have a 5-piece band?
I'll have 3 instruments and sometimes 2 fillers, like just bongos and a tambourine, because for the bits. Like
he has 3 guys, but some of the guys have 2 instruments, Preston.
Thank you, bro.
Who lives the closest to you? How many minutes away?
What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know.
He's doing a recall.
Todd, with the band, and I mean this is a total compliment, it's obviously rehearsed, but it seems like it's improv.
You know what? Can I tell you something?
Please.
I hope this is interesting to talk about on the radio, but people will know when they go see it. A lot of it isn't. Once, especially with John Brand Wagner, when he's with me, if he knows how to do it. Like you can ad lib more than you think.
That's great.
And they off the cuff, it's whenever I call on them, they're always there for whatever bit. It is a lot of fun having the band on the road. I feel like it's getting to do the best sketch.
Is this what you've always sort of dreamed about?
Yes,
having this vibe where you have sort of a traveling review or like?
Thank you very much, Kathy. I think since we have a guest later on this morning, we got Connoisseur and stuff like that coming up, we should probably take care of business and clean out the junk drawer.
It's the junk drawer. Preston's cleaning out his junk drawer. Getting things out of his junk drawer. Finding stuff here in the junk drawer.
Do I need to point out that Steve does that live? That's not actually part of the jingle, so it's a live performance right there, folks.
It is live, and it's another testament to how stupid I am.
All right, let me see what I can find here. All right, so this is an interesting one, and I should have touched on this earlier, but didn't get a chance to. So Shannon Sharpe, NFL Hall of Famer, ESPN presenter, apparently he shocked his 3.2 million Instagram followers by going live in the middle of a sexual encounter with a woman. And the broadcast, which ended after nearly 2 full minutes, was followed by a now deleted statement from Sharpe claiming that his account had been hacked.
Oh, no.
Hours later... Hours later, he had recorded an emergency episode. An episode of his Nightcap podcast, fessing up to the fact that he did indeed go live in the midst of an intimate moment. And he said, obviously, I'm embarrassed. I'm someone that is extremely, extremely private. And to have one of your most intimate details, the audio, heard for the entire world to hear, I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons. Continuing, speaking in the third person, he said, people count on Shannon. Shay Shay Media, Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, ESPN. There's a lot of people that count on him at all times. He's talking about himself.
Yeah. What did he say?
Even when I'm behind closed doors, I still try to remain a level of professional, although I'm in the privacy of my own home. And I'm very disappointed in myself, he said. Not for the act. There are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities, but I let a lot of people down. He then stated the video was not staged and it was entirely accidental. He said, I came in, I threw my phone on the bed and engaged in an activity. I did not know Instagram Live. I have never been on Instagram Live. I've never turned Instagram Live on, so I don't know how it works. And he said that he was alerted to the intimate moment being live streamed by his other phone going off with calls and texts from friends and acquaintances when a marketing assistant of his finally got through and filled him in on the situation. Sharp said, my heart sank. It dropped. And he said that the assistant, being, quote, a good Samaritan, was the one to end the Instagram Live and then post the message claiming that he was hacked. After catching up with the situation, Sharp decided that it was best to just come clean and admit what had happened.
So I've done a little bit of Instagram Live, and I've done it. It seems like it's a, and I don't want to go into
like a
right now.
two-step process.
Yeah. You don't just accidentally swipe a button and you're live streaming, right?
Yeah, like
unless
you can go live and then doesn't it give you like it prompts you before you actually like you hit the live button and then it prompts you
right
before you actually.
But I have had my phone engage in things accidentally just by being in my pocket, and when I reach it out, I've hit some buttons or whatever, and it's and then you're like, oh my god, that's on. What's
I've called 911 by accident on my cell phone on a couple of occasions.
Well, so Marissa is behind you. She's starting an Instagram Live right now. So hold on before you. What are the steps, Marissa? Because it's been a while since I've done one.
All right, so I'm on Preston Steve Instagram account.
Yeah.
I'm hitting the plus button.
All right, that's one step.
I have to scroll over to live.
Okay, that's two.
We don't know, was it on selfie or was it on regular camera?
It was
doesn't say.
It was.
Okay.
It seemed to be
just the audio. Came through.
Well, you just have to hit go, and then it says 3, 2, 1, and then it checks
and
connection.
Now hey!
And now you're like, oh my God!
You caught us in an intimate moment. I apologize. I did not mean for that to happen.
And I'm over here spanking it.
Oh, no! Somebody call Steve! Let him know!
Call our publicist.
By the way, Casey's a very aggressive lover, I just found out. He was
just with you.
He was grabbing me very
No, Kathy, with
tightly.
you, I would be
like an angel.
I want to make you feel so good.
I hate you so much. It's weird.
I'm gonna make you feel so good.
So, I don't know how often something like this happens, where it accidentally occurs. I mean, I, of course, had the infamous moment at my house when I had...
yeah, you did.
I had accidentally... We have an intercom system in our house, and there is a baby monitor function on it where you can just turn it on and leave it on, and you will hear it throughout the house. And we had accidentally left it on in the bedroom. My kids were elsewhere in the house, and Rochelle and I had sex, and it went all over the house. Yeah, totally.
Echoing around the estate.
Do we remember, like, was it, like, fairly loud?
I have no idea, because the kids were little, and so none of them said anything to us, so I don't know, but I just know it was on. What was that?
I'm going to shoot.
We're still Instagram living, by the way.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's on this screen right here, Preston. You can see you looking at you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Well, when will then be now?
Now, sir.
You ever know anybody who has done any of these things deliberately? Because I know somebody who did it, and she was
purposefully broadcast himself on Instagram Live.
A bit of a voyeur, Steve, and also she liked having an audience, exhibitionist. And so it was not on Instagram Live. It was on Snapchat, which I don't even know if that function exists anymore.
Right, yeah.
But she wanted people to know that she was hooking up with somebody and made a bit of an announcement to do it and then broadcast it to the world to see.
So the guy knew too?
I'm sorry?
I'm so sorry. The guy was aware too?
Actually, it was two girls.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's even
wow.
Yeah.
If you're broadcasting sex on Instagram, and I had a charity mention that I was doing during a live stream that was taken off for being too suggestive, which it wasn't. It was a mistake. I mean, that's too much if you can broadcast live sex.
Nick, to piggyback on what Casey was asking, did the other girl know that it was?
Oh, yeah.
So they both were.
It was consensual.
They were putting on a show.
Post like a party. They had been in a bar or whatever, and so they were a little lit up or whatever. But they wanted people to see it, and people saw it. And it was somebody texted me and said, "Hey, do you know that this is going on?" I was like, "Nope," but I got to download Snapchat now.
Yeah,
I didn't even have a Snapchat account, and now I don't either.
So
that night I did.
You did for one.
Yeah,
night.
I did for one magical Snapchat night.
Nick, you initially sent this story over to me. Was there audio accompanied with this or anything?
For the Instagram Live with Shannon Sharp?
Yeah.
It was only audio.
Yeah.
No, I mean that you heard. It's been
no.
deleted. It's got somebody had to have grabbed
Somebody
it.
had to have grabbed it. I did,
somewhere.
I couldn't find it.
Okay.
But I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, I watched it. There was a guy, because I didn't know. I just saw Shannon Sharp, the memes and everything, and it wasn't until Nick, you told us what happened. So I went and I just did a little bit of a search. So I watched it, but it was through a guy, I guess, screen recording on his own phone.
We got a case. Here we go.
Okay. Well, Marissa,
Wow, she
by the
couldn't
way,
even speak. That's how hard they were going at it.
He effed the language right out of her.
Right out of her. Marissa, right now, she still is streaming us on Instagram Live. She's closing that down, but wants us to let everybody know you can watch us on YouTube Live. There you go.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, he indicates that it was completely by accident, and people got an earful.
I do know, like sometimes though, I'll pull my phone out of my purse or my back pocket, and I'm like, how did I get on this random app that I don't know anything about? Like
Grindr.
Yeah, I'm like, why am I now dating somebody?
Yeah.
So I could see how that. I know it's it's a little far fetched, but I can see how maybe that would happen.
Quite possibly. So I don't know what kind of blowback he's getting on this.
He's ESPN says they're fine. I mean, it was as it was. It appears to be a mistake.
Two consensual adults.
Yeah, and why would you do that to jeopardize your on purpose to possibly jeopardize your career?
Yeah,
something you got.
He says he's embarrassed.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Toobin was spanking it on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they hired him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see what else we got in the junk draw. All right, some of these stories are bigger than others, and this is a tiny one, but I do like this. A TikTok gamer has gone viral after revealing a hack to win at the claw machine games.
A hack to win the claw machine game.
Are these legit?
I don't know. I've never been good at the claw machine game. My kids are fantastic at it. Like if we're at we used to go to Texas Roadhouse, and they had a claw machine game for the kids at the front. And we would order our meal, and they'd be like, "Can we go play the claw machine game?" Sure. And we give them a couple bucks, and they would come back with like 5 stuffed animals.
Wow.
Like every time.
Savants.
Yeah, they're really good at it. I was never good at it.
Oh, that's cool, because my kid is not good, and I just donate money to the claw machine, every claw machine that we see.
All right, so here is apparently a hack. I don't know if it works.
Okay.
Maybe some machines it works on or not. So they typically have varying grip strengths. And
Yes.
that's the thing. Because sometimes you'll get the claw perfectly right around that thing, and it just slips right off of it. So it makes it hard to snag the prizes. The user explained that the machine's grip sensitivity ranges from 1, which is the weakest, to 5 is the strongest, with the tightest grip rarely activated. To guarantee a win, they shared a cheat. And here's what you do. If you're playing one that has the buttons that move it left, right, and up and down, you press left, right, down, down, and then you tap the grab button twice. And according to the TikToker, this triggers the tightest grip setting, and you'll be able to grab a toy.
Left, right, down, click, click.
Correct, yes.
Okay, I'm sending it to Jason.
All right.
Now that this is out there, do you think they're going to recalibrate the machines?
I don't know. There's
right?
a lot of machines out there, so it might be kind of difficult. But
I'd like to try this.
It looks like the video that we're watching, that it showed maybe Japanese characters.
Yes.
In the language. So I don't know if it's,
you have to go to Japan to
in
do
the U.S.
this?
or maybe you have to go to Japan to do it. I'm not really sure.
Hey, I got a stuffed pig. I had to go to Japan.
The amount of the value of all the stuffed animals in there, it can't be. It can't exceed what the number of dollars that go into the machine every day on a daily basis anyway. So even if you won every single time, aren't you still going to make a protally on the claw machine?
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah. And by the way, they're the worst stuffed animals ever.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like this is a profit machine. So even if they give up the hack, who cares?
Steve, it reminds me of of the movie The Jerk when he's working at the carnival and he's the guest waiting. He's like, it's a profit scheme. Oh, he realizes it. So try this out. See if it works. No idea, but it's left, right, down, down. And then the grab button. You hit that twice.
I remember one time years ago, and it was the freakest accident. I caught the little tag that comes out from the side.
Hung on it?
Oh,
okay.
wow.
It hooked that.
Yeah.
And it
you got it?
Now.
No.
Oh.
Because it was
It wouldn't
hooked.
release?
It wouldn't release.
Yeah. So you have it. You bring
It's
it.
dangling.
It's dangling over the
It
hopper.
would never release.
And it never.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That is funny.
Wow. Casey, what was the code to Contra, by the way?
Up, down, left, right, BA, select, start.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I remember that
All
one.
right, it reminded me of this. All right, let me see what else we got in the junk drawer. U.S. News and World Report has just come out with their list of the best countries in the world for 2024. And they
Are these all available for purchase?
Yes, exactly. And there's Zillow ratings and everything. No, so they teamed up with the Wharton School of Penn survey for a survey of 17,000 people in 89 different countries around the world, rating them in 73 categories. Those were broken down in 10 sub-rankings, including entrepreneurship, agility, quality of life, and social purpose. There are a lot of categories. So top of the list for the third year in a row is Switzerland. Making it the 7th time that they've been number one in the 9 years that the study has been done.
So I've been to Switzerland, and I couldn't help notice a lot of mountains.
Yeah.
Lots of mountains.
Yeah. You notice that? No, I have to go there. It is, for some reason, in my Instagram algorithm. It's Switzerland in the summer. I think
that's when we went. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was magnificent.
I think I'd rather go there in like July, August.
It was banging. Yeah. Any place in particular you'd like to go?
I have no idea what like cities or towns are even in there. I'm just looking at the beauty of it all, and I think that the one thing that just popped into my reels was people will float home from work. Like there's like a little stream and it's just so beautiful, and people will just
it's probably a one-off
jump into jump in the stream and float home. I'm like, yeah, that's I want to
jump in a stream and float home. No, there's a tremendous amount to recommend it.
So the country scores especially high for quality of life, open for business and entrepreneurship. The U.S. is third this year, but we are number one for power and agility.
Power!
So we have a number one ranking in that category. But third overall, which is, I'll
take it.
1 out of 3 ain't bad. And then Denmark is number one for quality of life and racial equality. Marissa, Brazil tops the adventure category, which you would know.
She would know, yeah.
And Sweden is first for green living.
So the Denmarkizoids, are they...
Denmark is number 10 overall on this list.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you have number 9 is New Zealand, 8 is United Kingdom, 7 is Germany, 6 is Sweden, 5th is Australia, 4 is Canada, then the U.S., number 2 is Japan, and Switzerland, number 1. So that's according to U.S. News and World Report. There you go. Denmark's cool. I've been there.
Yes.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. We had a great time. So that's why it's in the top 10.
I think I want to get there.
It's
Portugal now has ended up on my list.
Listen, Portugal has become a hot spot.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how beautiful it was there until that 100-foot wave documentary series came out. And
The
I'm like,
problem is
oh my
I can't
God.
speak Portuguese.
Oh, Jesus. That was a pretty good dad joke. All right, junk drawer. Got one. American Girl has announced their Girl of the Year doll for 2025.
Drum roll.
And her name is Summer McKinney.
Summer McKinney. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Summer McKinney.
In honor of her birthday, June 21st, the first day of summer, the 18-inch doll has blonde hair with light pink highlights and blue eyes and comes dressed in a rainbow patterned dress with pink and purple eyeglasses, bracelets, and sandals.
Summer!
Like all American Girl dolls of the year, Summer has a backstory. She is 10 years old and lives in Columbia, Maryland.
She's already won one AVN award.
Well, she and Alexis, Texas will get along fine. She's going to be here later on this morning. Summer is also a dog lover and a baker and combines those passions to start a dog walking and treat business called Waggy Pup Tails. This young entrepreneur even donates part of her profits to the Four Paws Animal Shelter, where she adopted her dog Crescent and volunteers.
That's amazing. These things are classically, I think we purchased a few for nieces over the years. They're still crazy expensive, right?
It's $125.
Yeah. This is something that I'm sad I missed out on.
Oh, really? American Doll?
Not the $125 doll, but like that whole, and like going to New York to the store and that whole experience.
Okay, do you mean when you were younger or if you had a daughter?
If I had a daughter,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this would have been, to me, I think this would have been something cool to do with the daughter.
So the thing about the American Girl doll, Steve, is besides the doll being $125, it's the accessories.
Yes, we're looking at some of those.
You have to get those.
Yeah.
If you want your daughter to be happy.
And
So,
If you want her to love you.
Yeah, so that's why. And remember, they also have like beauty shops.
And hospitals, if the doll is broken or whatever, you can bring them to the American Girl Doll Hospital.
Hey, Kathy, you got a little bit of a taste of it because Jace likes to play Fortnite and he's got to buy all those skins and all that. So
It's like not, I don't even get to enjoy it. Is there like a Fortnite cafe we can go to?
Yeah,
and
no,
get
it's all online. Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of accessories for her. There's a collection of baking accessories, a treat cart, and matching PJs and dresses for summer, and the girls who get to play with her.
Wait, I do have a goddaughter, and I bought her an American Girl doll once for her birthday, and she was freaked out by it. She goes, I don't know, there's something wrong with her face. Why does she look freaky? So I spent the money, bought it for her, and she didn't like it.
Oh
my daughter didn't like she hated dolls. She didn't like the doll hair. It just turned her.
Just freaked you out?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a few percentage that are terrified by the dolls.
Wow. All right, let's see what else we have here. We'll switch gears completely. I found this one, and it is the best and worst songs to have sex to. Science has determined that the ideal song speed to complement sex is 119 beats per minute. But when the pros at Dating Scout analyzed current playlists with keywords like romance, sexy, and sensual to see which ones meet that desired 119 BPM tempo, a lot of songs were nowhere near it. While a lot of playlists included, now this is pop music, gang. I'm not that familiar with a lot of the artists, so don't crucify me if I get these names and titles wrong. But Jeremy's Birthday Sex, that tune is only 60 beats per minute. Jeremy, is that how you say that?
Yeah, unless
Or
it's
Jeremiah's?
misspelled. Well, it might be Jeremiah's, and it's just misspelled. But I don't know that.
Okay, so we're all clueless on that together. Thank you.
That's only 60 beats?
60 beats per minute.
All
It's featured on around 120 of the playlists studied, but it was actually ranked the worst song to be played during sex. Other songs you don't want on your sexy time playlist include I Want to Be Yours by Arctic Monkeys and Get You featuring Kelly Yukis, I don't know, and Daniel Caesar, and with Rihanna's Sex With Me and Needed Me.
And I in my dreams.
That's hot.
I see
Now that's a good song to have sex to. Especially this performance.
That is how I know you go on.
Ooh, a little pitchy for me, dog.
So, what is the best song to have sex to? Researchers looked at the best songs in the Billboard Hot 100 and found that one by Post Malone tops the list. Pour Me a Drink with Blake Shelton has a tempo of 119 beats per minute.
Do we have that in the system?
Nah.
Do we have anything that has like 119 beats per minute or 120?
I wouldn't even know how
That's
to look
not
that
a
up.
parameter in our
library.
In our library, no. So that makes it a top pick. Dominic Fike's track Misses and Brand New Dance by Eminem are runner-ups. I mean, I have a metronome on my phone.
Yeah.
The
I
only
can play 119 beats a minute. Just to give you an idea of the tempo.
I'm sorry. The only Post Malone we have is this.
She got beautiful boobies.
That's pretty sexy.
Yeah.
All right, let me give you 100 and... Wait, now I have to start the app? What the hell? Okay, yeah, here we go. I'll give you...
Plug it in?
No, I'll just play it. I'll just hold up the microphone. Here is 119 beats per minute with quarter notes, I think. So here we go.
Yeah.
Mississippi Queen?
Yes. Mississippi Queen.
No, actually, Mississippi Queen's a little faster than this. It would be like this.
You think?
Maybe even a little faster. Yeah, I hit it about on the head.
Yeah, you did.
137
I mean, I trust you.
I didn't know you played guitar.
Yeah, I played the guitar.
Oh, my God.
Mississippi Queen.
Oh, my God. We need to start requesting songs from you.
Dude, I showed you the video of the guy who just does the whole noodling part with his mouth to a Steely Dan song. Which song was that?
Oh, yeah, Reeling in the Ears?
And it was because he just keeps going on and on
And he
on.
sounds like it?
It's the fact that like every single note that he hits is the right note.
Oh,
and
okay.
there are so many of them, and he's just singing the whole guitar solo.
Yeah, that's pretty
They're
cool.
really, really funny.
Essentially kind of scatting, so you can do that. All right, so those are great songs to have sex with, in case you ever wonder.
Yeah, let that ESPN host know.
All right, I'll do one more story. It's just, which one do I want to end with here? How about this one? I found this kind of creepy and interesting. An old but persistent email scam, sextortion, has a new personalized touch to it. The missives, which claim that malware has captured webcam footage of recipients pleasuring themselves, now includes a photo of the target's home.
Yeah.
In a bid to make threats about publishing the videos more frightening and convincing. This week, several readers reported receiving sextortion emails that addressed them by name and then included images of their street or front yard that were apparently lifted from, like Google Maps or something like that. That says, hey, so the message says it's been sent from a hacker who's compromised your computer. Use your webcam to record a video of you while you're watching porn and probably pleasuring yourself. It threatens to release the video to all your contacts unless you pay, like a Bitcoin ransom. And in this case, the demand is just shy of $2,000, and you can scan the QR code embedded in the email. Following a salutation that includes the recipient's full name, the start of the message reads, is visiting, and then they give the address, is visiting, 123 Adams Drive, whatever you want to say. A more convenient way to contact if you don't take action. Nice location, by the way.
Uh-huh.
And then they put a photo of your house.
You've got one of these, haven't you?
No.
Oh, yeah, I got one.
You got a sextortion?
No, I got this very thing.
No kidding.
And I said, dude, I have hours of footage. I don't need any more.
Steve, my dad got one, and it was the one where we've seen you watching porn.
Yes.
And my dad is susceptible to these types of things, and I felt bad for him. But he's like, Nicholas, I've never been to a porn site in my life. And I was like, Dad, don't worry. It's a scam. You're okay here, buddy.
Oh, the poor guy.
I know. I felt terrible for him. But that's who they're gunning for. They're gunning for people who aren't paying attention.
And then your mother comes in and goes, oh, that was computer.
Mine.
No.
BBC stuff.
And that's what happens. So they'll hit people like that. And so this, for the uninitiated who don't know, you could just simply grab a front lawn shot off of Google Maps.
Yeah.
But how did they get this?
And they also, but they include your name to make it more, to put fear into you without question.
I would, to flesh it out a little bit, no pun intended, I would send footage of me pleasuring myself.
Yeah, say,
does it look like this? It's not, liar.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
All right, but let me ask you this. What if you did get hacked and you were doing that and somebody was trying to extort you? Would you pay them or you go,
No.
Just release it?
Because here's the deal.
Everyone does it.
Especially us.
Yeah.
We've talked about this on the air before.
Yeah.
That we've engaged
show prep.
in this type of stuff.
It's show
I'm
prep.
just doing show prep.
Yeah.
And you know what? Okay. I guess, it's going to be really embarrassing,
By the way,
but worse things have happened.
What's your angle like? So if you have your computer camera, it's tilted up at you.
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
Yeah.
You're simply seeing the look of elation?
Yeah.
You could be looking at puppies.
We should.
Puppies that are so hot.
Yeah.
I'd be really curious to hear Alexis Texas's perspective on this, because this is her entire career,
Right, yeah.
Has she ever been extorted for anything along these lines?
Yeah, so, but keep in mind that if they do send that to you, the picture, it's a scam.
Yes.
They don't really have the video of you.
Don't panic.
And whatever you do, don't reply to them either. Or, you know what, actually, they said that if you're, that if this is happening to you, that you reach out to the FBI.
Send your nudes to the FBI.
Because the perpetrator a lot of times is pretending to be a teenager and you're just one of the many victims targeted by the same person. If you believe that this has happened or know someone else who is, the FBI wants to hear from you. So reach out to them, not just your local police, but the actual FBI, because it's, I guess, a federal crime at that point. All right, that's all we got. Yeah.
That was the junk drawer. Preston's closing up his junk drawer. There's nothing left here in the junk drawer. Until next time, that was the junk drawer.
And then a little guitar solo at the end there, Steve. All right, we are going to take a break. We are going to return. What are we doing next? Bizarre File. So hang out. We'll be back in a moment.
Just stand up with a band, you know? It's like you get to play and it's fun. But anyway,
how much more expensive is this? You got these guys got to stay somewhere. They got to eat. You got to got to pay them.
You use a local. What I've learned, if John
there
is
are
just
hostels
one person,
all over the country.
He'll round up other musicians.
Use a local drummer. You can always teach 2-3 local people, and so you're just bringing one person with you.
Should ask me, dude. I would have accompanied.
Do you know that Preston is we kid you not. Preston is a sensational drummer.
Well, but would you have wanted to do 6 shows?
Not at all.
Hell no.
Right.
No. I would have done one of them, though.
Well, you know what? You still can.
I got a gig on Friday night already, but yeah, maybe we can fit that in. We'll talk.
Well, listen, here's what I'd like to do. You'll do the Saturday. Oh, Freddie, I locked you. Saturday, you'll do both shows. I won't have it any other way. I'm 2 minutes from there, 6 minutes from there, sure.
How is Kimmel's? Are you doing it on the Kimmel set? You said you're at his club in Vegas.
Yeah, we shot it already.
And Jimmy is from Vegas and has always wanted to have a comedy club, and we hear nothing but great things about it.
Yeah, they did it. They did it really nice. You know, mostly what the showroom is very important, but also what is even more important is the green room. And he did the green room on his comedy club like it's at his show. Like his show is, there's nothing else like it. Like and I've been to like not perform. I haven't performed on the Tonight Show with Johnny, but I went to see someone that went and was there when Jay was there, and been to a lot of green rooms over the years. But Kimmel's is just this like own thing, and it's gigantic, and there's like food everywhere, and there's pool tables, and it's just a really fun green room.
Water served in glass pitchers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, he loves comedians. He loves you. How long have you known him? That
you know what? I know him, but don't know him. It's really weird. Like you know someone, but you don't know them. You know, you don't see him that often, but you feel.
Did you find out he was a fan or what?
No, I knew. I when Sarah dated him, she would tell him, "You got to have Todd on the show, but let him do bits.
Yeah,
like let him do different things." And that's sort of how I got to do it. You know, just to do different bits.
And you've been friends with Sarah for a long time, Silverman. Yeah.
Sarah used to sleep on our sofa. I used to live with a guy named Dave Rath. He's a manager, and then Sarah would come in from New York, and she would sleep on our sofa. And I always thought she was so cool. I don't know why. But she's
been great, and we know that she's part of the reason you're here on this planet today. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, you know, really, she's probably the reason I almost died, because she was the one telling people I was okay. She was going, "No, he's just high. He's fine." Jeff Ross is the reason.
Jeff Ross.
By the way, along the lines of the people who always say how far away they live from things, how many minutes, there are also people who say who slept on their sofa too.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Preston, about 5 years ago, can I tell the story?
Please, I'm okay with it.
I bumped into him in the hallway. I was going around the corner, and I bumped into him in the hallway. And that was it. I said, "I'm sorry." I thought I was very, I wasn't like a jerk. He goes, "One day," he goes, "I don't care if it's 5 years. You're gonna say something, then I'm gonna call it back, and I'm gonna put it right in your face." And that's exactly, I guess and I thought he forgot about it.
He never forgets.
I thought that he let it.
He never forgets.
Do you think I'm performing good today? Do you think the people listening? Because I said I'm going with my A game. What's it say at the top of those notes?
2 minutes from 8 minutes. Oh, no, wait.
Preston and Steve.
Frame Dad's body. Oh, well, Preston and Steve. I'm sorry.
A friend of mine, he told his wife, he saw how affectionate his wife was with the dog.
Okay.
So he just said, maybe half kidding, he goes, "Why don't you treat me more like the dog?" So, and now every time he poops in the house, his wife squirts him with a water pistol. Which, by the way, is a humane way. I told somebody that story, and they go, "Does that work?" I go, "Well, I think I heard it was a physical way to maybe train your dog if it's barking or something. I think I saw it on a show, which I like anything that creates non-physical for anything, human or dog or anything. I thought to squirt the water pistol. But let's say you have a dog, I thought of after I heard the water pistol thing.
Right.
The water pistol's not working. I mean, okay, you got to stop at one point. You can't have, like, if he's really a bad dog, you get, like, a fire hose. You're, like, just right over to the neighbor's yard. Sure. Oh, you act like you're trying to go, no, let me just squirt him a little bit. You open up that hose. The dog, right over to the neighbor's yard. You go, oh, I tried to just use the water to teach him, but he was
a bad dog.
I think he's somewhere. I can't see him. He's on a farm. We used to get rid of, not so many, but once in a while we'd have a dog growing up. You know, when you try to fix the story as you're telling it?
Yeah. We get rid of so many pets.
I don't want to make it look like out of proportion, but over the years, it probably 3 stories. And me and my brothers didn't honestly figure it out till we were older. I didn't even know it was a thing. We had a dog, and it would always go to a farm.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But
the
farm is put to sleep.
Yep. The dog, they put the dog down. They didn't want to break it to the kids.
No, there's a farm out there that's got a ton of dead dogs.
Yeah.
I think it's
they kill it.
I think a lot of times it's not always a parent that was doing anything wrong. The dog, they could have realized the dog was aggressive and not able to be.
Or for a kid, the dog just gets sick and it's in pain or whatever. It has to be put down. It's easier to lie to your child.
Right.
Yeah.
He's, because when I first saw these 2 dogs in the park, I remember. I just realized I can't tell this joke.
You did?
And you're.
Well, I'll
tell you what it is.
Try it.
When we get to the part that is the part I can't do, you're going to go, why would you even have thought you could ever?
Well, we egged you on, so we'll take the blame for it.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
That when I saw these, but this is a true story. It's a true story. Why would I make it up? True story. When I was younger, I saw 2 dogs in the park, and they were going at it, humping each other.
Yeah.
And I asked my dad what they were doing, and he said, because he didn't know how to deal with stuff, and he just said, he goes, I remember, like, he said they're playing a game.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just asked him, I go, like, I took a beat, like a little kid will, and I go, what's the game? And he said, it's effing. It's called. He said it. Yeah.
Did you watch the Golden Globes by any chance?
No, I did not.
Oh, because Ricky Gervais, he did a little bit of a monologue, and he had gotten to a joke where, we'll get you a water. And he had gotten to a joke where...
Just top off his bag.
That's so weird that you need water, but you've got the saline going through your body there.
Did you hear what they said from City Hydration? So cleanly and brilliantly, she explained the difference between water that would make you thirsty and the hydration that would make you feel... like I do right now. I feel like, can I tell you right now? I could bend steel. And I'm not thinking just, I'm not just thinking maybe I, thank you very much.
All right,
thank you, Marissa.
Have you ever been on stage and you thought better of a joke that you were about to tell and had to hang a 180 away from it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
You know what, sometimes, you know what it will be? I'll be doing an old joke that I didn't realize, just don't. I have a different relationship with what I say that comes out of my mouth. So I'll be like, I'll think of an old joke, but then halfway through I go, oh, that's not nice.
Right.
And I just want to stop. I'll just go, you know what? I don't need that joke anymore. I had a series called If you see a sign that says don't do it, it means somebody did it.
Yes.
Okay. It's true. Because, they don't just put, if it says, I don't have to repeat the bit, but I will do one example from the old pile of part of this joke. For instance, if you see a sign that says no diving in the jacuzzi. Yeah, somebody dove into a jacuzzi, which, think about that, that's crazy. Yeah. A moron. Yeah. A moron. And I don't like to call people morons because if I'm so smart, why shouldn't I be so smart to just talk about people kinder? But I don't know the word for it. And by the way, I hope this guy probably had a dad. You have children. You have people that love you.
Yeah.
Who are you to go, I'm going to go dive into that jacuzzi? Yeah. So maybe you're better off. Did you work
at Dairy Queen?
I did work at Dairy Queen, not to brag. But so when you talk about signs that, if there's a sign, I'm going to make full circle. Everyone's going to be proud of me. It's okay to get a little lost, but you got to deliver.
No.
So here's the point.
Yeah.
Right. So the ice cream place, it says 3 sample limit. It doesn't say 4. It said 3 sample limit. And I thought about something. That tells a story. That tells 3 sample limit. You know what that story tells me? Look, lunatics come in different forms.
Yeah.
So when I use the word lunatic, people might go, lunatic? Yeah, that means a lunatic. Anybody that would go get 3 samples is a lunatic. Look, you certainly have problem with boundaries. If you're going to go, can I taste one? Can I get another? Can I get a third? Is there any stopping you? So that's what I think. That four
is enough.
3 sample limit.
I think 3's too much.
I agree. Matter of fact, if I'm with people, 1, I'm okay with. You have to realize that not everyone's like you. People have a right to go get a sample of ice cream, Todd, even if it's something you're insecure about it. I say no sample. None.
Do you ever sample deli meat? I've seen people do that. Can I have a slice of that?
Oh, yeah. I've done that. I've tried cheese.
Right. So you can do that
like that.
occasionally, same thing.
Yeah.
You don't do 4 or 5 different types of.
I trust the relationship where I'm getting it, but in the right situation, definitely. In that situation, I could lie and go, no, I don't do it there either, because I seem like a hypocrite. There's something different about the ice cream.
But they have the little spoons. That's
Yeah,
what it's for.
You're one of those, aren't you?
What about?
Yeah.
You're trying to gain the system, and so my kids are big. They love to do the free samples. I'll give them 1, and that is it. And it's only because they haven't been on the planet that long, so they haven't tried. If you're a 40-year-old man and you don't know what rum raisin tastes like you know.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
And if it's at the yogurt place where you do it yourself in a little cup, all right, you're not. That's fine. Go over in the corner, have a ball. But where they have to scoop it for you. So I have a different standard for if you're doing it yourself at least, because it's not making someone else do it.
Sure.
And for kids, of course, it should. Whatever a kid wants to do.
They're our future.
Yeah.
You got to teach them well, Steve, right?
Exactly.
Oh, I disagree wholeheartedly. I think that you can sometimes be in between flavors, or maybe there's one you've never tried before. Or I say that not every rum raisin is the same, sir.
Okay.
There are a lot of places that make their own ice creams, and I would like to try that.
Preston's dessert of choice is ice cream.
Sometimes you look at rum raisin, it is a very clear, milky white look. Other times it's kind of brownish. I wonder how that one tastes as opposed to the other
I'm
one.
going to, not to be a wishy-washy with my opinion, but to prove that I could change my opinion, I'm changing my stance. I'm going to say
4 samples?
A lot of it's just with the demeanor, and you're matter of fact about it.
Yes.
Hey, could I try talk to the person. You don't have to go, you don't have to make.
I hate to be an imposition.
Yeah.
I'm a little wishy-washy here.
Yeah.
I just had an IV bag.
You're right. Not all are the same. So I guess really, it's a case-by-case situation. So Casey was wrong, and what you said to especially Preston was disrespectful.
I apologize.
And I'm, as a fan of the show and honored to be here, I'm not trying to kiss anybody's tuchus. I thought you were way out of line.
I was way out of line. What are your thoughts on free samples? Because you see it at the fudge kitchen,
the mall.
Costco, you can go around and spend an hour trying the sample.
Costco, I got in trouble at Costco. That's when I realized the world people are crazy.
Yeah.
I had a
World War II wasn't an indicator.
Well, that's like, and by the way, this does make sense. Please remind me to get back to what I did at Costco.
Okay,
but it does have to do with you said
World War II?
Nazis?
Yeah, the
what did you do at Costco?
Okay. World War II.
World War II.
Hitler.
Ice cream samples.
Someone told me that Hitler, this is a true story, that they told me this. Whether it's true or not, it's true, I don't know.
Okay.
But they said Hitler ate a piece of cake every day. Isn't that crazy? I told my friend, I don't think it's the craziest thing about him.
Brought to you by Patient First Cold and flu season is here.
I've got a Claude.
You do have a Claude. Patient First is here to help. Hey, Harry. I can't speak.
You were traveling all day.
I was.
What's Harry, though?
I was just to say they handle everything.
Harry or Claude?
And I put handle and every and made it Harry.
At these times, you need someone who cares about your Claude, and Harry's it correctly.
I'm sorry. And I snorted too. So we were chatting last night, and Kath shared a story with us about a friend who had a doctor's appointment, I think it was, Kathy?
Yeah, it's like a televisit, a telemedicine visit.
Yeah, we were just talking about, Zoom conferencing and all that stuff and maybe speaking to relatives and so on. And
framing a shot.
Yeah, framing a shot.
So that you're seen.
My mom she's always laying down when I talk to her, and she holds, I guess, we have a thing called a gram pad, which is like an iPad, and she holds it down low. And so I always get this shot going up. It looks like a looming, intimidating camera angle, but she only frames in part of her chin, and that's all that I see. So we're all coping with different. Quick shout out or two before we get to the bizarre file. We'll leave with you, Casey. You wanted to send one out.
I did, yeah. So I want to send a shout out. And first of all, thank you to our friends at Penn Beer and Bud Light. We did the first Bud Light kickoff last night. It was at Ryan's Pub in Westchester. It was a great event. A ton of people showed up to try and win Eagles tickets for this Monday night's game, and we had a really, really great time. So congratulations to Mary, who won the tickets. But I'm going to give a shout out to John. John from Delco. He made it to the final 7. We give away 7 keys. Unfortunately, he didn't win. Mary won, but John he's a big fan of the show. Presbo. He wanted me to specifically say hi to you, Presbo.
Oh, what's up, man?
So this is a shout out to John, and then all the boys at Schaefer Renovation.
All right. Man, here's one I missed. Damn it. I meant to do a butt plug for this. Kristen Sticed emailed in, and she had plays for roller derby, for Bucksmont Roller Derby, and they had a thing with the Red Cross. I missed this. It was yesterday at Inline 309 in Hatfield. That's where Caroline works there.
Can you read it and act as if you were unaware?
How about that?
Yeah.
No, it was yesterday, 2 to 7. She had said, I listen to your show all the time, and I know you live somewhere in that area. Would love to have you out for the event or make a mention. And so sorry about that, Kristen. Next time. My fault. Sometimes I mess these up, man. I put dates on them, and then I set them aside, and I try to hit them on the date. And
there's a ton of them that comes. That people bombarded. You try to get to as many as you can.
Yep.
And if you don't get it this time, if you have the event again next year, let us know.
Here's a shout out. Says, hey, I'm coming up on 15 years listening to your show, and I wanted to request a big shout out to Nick Giangiluo. Giangiulio. Giangiulio. Thank you, Nick.
I went to high school with some Giangiulios.
Well, this person who sent this in, Joseph, wanted to thank Nick, the cool dad that played the Preston and Steve show for us in our carpool rides into middle school. I loved hearing the Bizarre File stories so much when I was a kid that I'm 29 years old now and continue to listen every day just through the podcast now.
That's awesome.
Moved from South Philly to Chicago 7 years ago.
Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago. Thank you for introducing me to this show, Nick.
Chicago! Chicago!
And thanks to laughs, Preston and Steve Gadzuk. So here's a shout out. And let me do another one real quick here. I have a few of these. I don't want to get too date-wise. Make sure they make sense. How about this one? Hey, bitches, wondering if I can get a shout out for my daughter, Allie Ruggiano. It's her 23rd birthday, Wednesday, September 11th. I missed that one, too. And now that she's got a new job in the mornings, she's driving a lot and said she now listens to you guys every day, like mother, like daughter. If you give her a shout out, she would love it. Thank you. That is from Marianne Ruggiano, the mom. So here's a shout out. And then I'll do one more. This is the butt plug. I got this one. It is a nonprofit. This is from Colleen Bricker. I sent this over to you, Nick, by the way. Said, longtime listener here. I'm reaching out to spread the word about the coolest kids sport, quarter midget racing. Kids 5 to 17 compete on dirt and or asphalt every week all over the tri-state area and country in motorized racing. It's the coolest thing to watch. And we're trying to get sponsors to help grow a new asphalt track in Glenmore, PA, Chesco Creekside Raceway. It's a beautiful facility, newly paved quarter midget and go-kart track. But we need your help, and you guys are so great at highlighting things they do around the area. And she sent me a GoFundMe, and it's a free track. So you go by and you use the facilities for free.
Just for the
So I'm like,
community.
okay, because I thought initially, I'm like, well, this is a business and we don't really do free plugs for businesses.
How dare you send this to me?
But they have their second annual, she said, Turkey Gobbler, November 29th, December 1st. It would be absolutely amazing if you guys could stop by, give a shout out, pass on our info to our businesses who donate to the kids' nonprofits. That would be so grateful. How about you bring a few of your really cool midget go-karts that we could drive at the Camp Out for Hunger? That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be a wonderful thing.
I think we'd set up a little track out there.
Bet you could scare up some money for your drive there.
Yeah, we could do it at the Wells Fargo Center. So,
yeah, and that's right after the big weekend that they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So here's a butt plug for those guys. And now we can do the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Have we forgotten protocol?
We did.
Oh, Froggy!
Yeah.
We have. This is the second protocol breach that we've had today. We forgot our Friday song.
Yeah, this one's on me, bro.
And, of course, this band is going to be playing at the Barbecue on the Preston and Steve Show side stage. They were just announced, so they will be our featured artists. Let's get Friday going here. Here we go. Continue and move forward with business as usual. So let us get into the Bizarre File stories. Here we go. Last week, a 63-year-old man walked into a New York City hospital with what he expected to be a routine check on hip pain that he had from a fall. And upon receiving an x-ray, doctors discovered that he was, in fact, suffering from the exceedingly rare condition of penile ossification.
Penile ossification?
His penis was turning into an extraskeletal bone, the doctors said in their report.
Let's hear this out.
In the initial x-ray, doctors were looking for fractures in the patient's hip area. The man had fallen on the sidewalk. Instead, they made an alarming and incredibly rare diagnosis. The man's penis was building up a bone-like calcification.
That's not a medical person.
As the doctors describe it, there was evidence of extensive plaque-like calcification along the expected distribution of the penis. Calcium salts had accumulated in his soft tissue along his penile shaft. The patient showed no other symptoms typical of this condition, such as discharge or swelling. Unfortunately, for the man himself, as well as for medical researchers, no further examinations were carried out on the patient. He decided to leave the hospital, ignoring the medical advice of doctors, and no treatment was administered for his condition.
I'm sorry, if you said it, I missed it. Pain? Any pain? Anything of that nature?
Well, his hip was hurting, so
right.
That's a good question. They didn't mention about pain in the penis.
Not his penis.
While the condition is exceedingly rare, only 40 cases have been recorded. That's it. Treatments do exist for it.
I'd get a clubhouse.
Well, there are treatments, and this guy could get them, but he just walked out of there. In the case report, the doctors say that medical and surgical treatment options exist depending on the extent of ossification and symptoms. The most common cause for penile ossification is Perion's disease, which sees fibrous scar tissue from within the penis. And other causes are trauma and end-stage kidney disease.
Oh, wow.
Other conditions that cause a calcium buildup in the body.
So then it's the condition where you have a bent phallus. This is similar to that?
It's not similar to that. I mean, this is calcification. This is like building up a rigid,
wow, man,
bone-like structure. So this
sounds cool.
Dude's in trouble. So hopefully he gets some help. A Colorado teenager told deputies that he was shot in the face outside a house by the boyfriend of the homeowner after trying to ask for permission to take photos at the property. The 17-year-old was taken to the hospital where he remains, but according to a news release, he told deputies he and a friend went to the property. It was around 4:15 on Tuesday. They jumped over the fence and tried to locate the homeowner to ask if they could take high school homecoming photos at their property. When no one answered, they walked around the property trying to find the homeowner or a resident. When they couldn't, they assumed no one was home and they returned to their car. The homeowner called the police saying that the teens were trespassing. She then called her boyfriend, 38-year-old Brett Metz. The woman was not home at the time. She saw the boys on her home surveillance camera. As the teens were back in the car, they were writing a note to the homeowner with their request to take photos at the property, and that's when Metz showed up, the boyfriend, got out of his truck, and then fired one round from a handgun into the teen's car through the windshield, striking this kid in the face.
No exchange? Nothing?
None.
No talking? No nothing? Just shoots into the car?
Not that I know of. Investigators recovered the notes, appearing to confirm the teen's story. When deputies arrived, they said the uninjured boy was putting pressure on his friend's face with a T-shirt. Metz declined to speak to responding deputies, instead asking for an attorney. A deputy asked if there was a gun present for safety. Metz said it was in his truck. The 17-year-old told deputies that he didn't think Metz shot him intentionally. The teen also told deputies that Metz tried to help after he fired the round, but the other boy, who's 15 and a childhood friend of the alleged victim, pushed him away and asked why he shot his friend. Metz was arrested and faced charges of first-degree assault, 2 counts of felony menacing, and illegal discharge of a firearm, and 2 counts of reckless endangerment.
That's wild.
By the way, Metz is a Mountain View Town Council member.
I know he was.
Mountain View's mayor declined to comment on the incident.
Vote for Metz.
Before we start the meeting today, I have a funny story to tell you.
Last November, a story broke about a high-end brothel that had been busted in Massachusetts, which reportedly catered to politicians, doctors, lawyers, and others.
Wow, no Indian chiefs?
At the time, 3 people were arrested in connection with the alleged brothel. Now, the alleged brothel's alleged customers are having their say in court in a quest to keep their names from going public when the case hits the courts. Over a dozen clients are stating their case to the Massachusetts Supreme Court in hopes of not losing their jobs, clients, reputations, families, or whatever else may be at risk in the event that their alleged extracurricular activities become part of the public record.
How high-end was this brothel?
It doesn't say,
He's
but...
agreed to hold her dentures while she gives you the midnight special.
Oh, well, there
we're
you go.
talking
That's-
high-end,
yeah.
without question. They'll do all kinds of stuff. All right, and then one more story. Oh, Kath, you're going to love this.
Okay.
A mother said her daughter was exposed to a potential health hazard while smelling a candle at a local store. Ooh. This all happened last Thursday at a Dollar Tree in South Bend, Indiana. So Adrienne Shelton and her 9-year-old daughter, Gray, were at the Dollar Tree. They were shopping for a gift for Gray's teacher when Gray reached for a candle on the shelf. And her mom said, "We're smelling candles." She picked up a candle to smell and tilted it back, and it literally, liquid, went down her. At first, we were like, all right, maybe it's water. And we were just walking through the store, and then we get a foul smell, and Gray goes, "Mom, my shirt really stinks." That smell
Oh, no.
was urine sitting in the candle on the store shelf.
You don't like piss candles, do you? You said that.
I don't like piss candles, no.
Appalled by the stain and smell on her daughter's shirt, Shelton went to the manager searching for answers.
Oh, sweetie, don't tilt that. It's filled with piss.
The store manager offered her a shirt as a replacement. She said, "They have been telling me this has been happening over a month now, and they're not able to catch the person that's doing it. And there's no cameras down the aisle where he is doing it. So the store employees, the manager, has asked corporate to put in cameras in those areas, and corporate just doesn't want to pay for those."
Yeah, we have a candle pisser at our store. Can you install some cameras?
The manager said Dollar Tree has been in contact with police and are trying to find out who is urinating in the candles.
Think of the specificity of the guy, and we assume there's something maybe kinky about whatever his deal is. I doubt he's trying to extort the dollar store.
Maybe he's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't really know. But yeah, there's some guy that's doing it.
I love to pee in candles.
Girl ended up getting that all over her. Wow. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file. Hey, one last shout out. I forgot to mention this. We received a gift the other day. And the note, this is from Jeff Melwy, who lives in St. Augustine, Florida. He wrote, "Yes, you may be in the Radio Hall of Fame, but do you have Nell on Laserdisc?" And he goes, "And you call yourself a major market morning show. Keep much love and keep effing that chicken." Jeff Melway, St. Augustine, Florida, local podcaster since 2007. Go Birds. And he sent us a Laserdisc of Nell, the movie.
Yeah. Real deal.
So thank you for that, Jeff.
I gave my Laserdisc player to Nick Murphy, and I gave my entire catalog, so maybe we can give Nick Murphy this as well.
Marissa brought this in for those who are watching us on YouTube. This is what it looks like. It looks like an album.
Sidelock, Con.
Yeah, we'll have to give this to Murph.
I done pass a miss alive.
Because he'll actually watch it on Laserdisc. So thank you for the unique gift, Jeff. That was very thoughtful. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back in just a moment. Don't forget, a little bit later on this morning, Alexis Texas will be here. She's going to be at Club Risque. And we will get to the Connoisseur when we return with some stuff for you to win. So stay with us. And Back School A to Z continues as well.
And obviously, the grandpad has been a godsend, but you would like to see the full face of the woman who gave birth to you.
But listen to this. So Kathy's friend had a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, she had a doctor's appointment, and it was, over the computer. And so she just assumed they would be like chatting and talking about, I guess, whatever it is the checkup was for.
What kind of doctor is this?
So the doctor was with her gynecologist.
Oh, okay.
And so she was trying to explain something to her. And finally, at one point, the gynecologist said, you know what, you're going to have to show me.
Oh, my God.
And so she took her pants off and straddled the computer.
Oh, my
Preston, though, she was at work.
I was like, what? Wait, back up. I was like, what? You had to show her? And she was like, yeah. She's like, listen, I've been going to her for years. So it was okay. It was fine. So I even texted my neighbor, who's a gynecologist, and I said, do you do this with your patients? And she's like, well, no, we don't. But she's like, I guess some people do.
Well, okay, so so with televisits, it's become a thing, and the discussion is, if this is going to be something, Dr. Mike seems to think it's going to be
ongoing.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I
to be
really
honest,
do.
If you can just go, I have this rash on my arm instead of driving across.
Here's your copay now. Call in my prescription.
Call it in. You got this.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you can clear waiting rooms and stuff for people with more serious things, that's a positive.
Listen, there was it was more in the thick of COVID when things were a little bit more touchy, and not that it's gotten any better, but our fear of it was a little bit stronger a little while back, and so I had a teleconference with a specialist whom I would regularly go into the waiting room and wait minimum hour and a half past my appointment schedule, and this one. Right on time, done deal, in and out. It was so easy to do.
If you can do it now
I had to show him my butthole. But other than that, it was okay. No,
hold it up there. Yeah. But I would say this then, right? If you're going to call your gyno, and this is the one who is. Maybe call on your phone for ease of use. So you can hold it down there, right, Preston?
Right.
It's harder to put your iMac up to your cooter,
oh my God.
I mean, to me.
I think it was just jumped over it. And
I mean, I'm not going to ask what was the issue, but did it get it done? Was it, oh, yeah, I see it right there. Yeah, it looks like Ida.
Oh, right. I don't know. I didn't go further into the conversation. I was just shocked that.
How did that get in there?
She actually had to do that.
Steve, like anything else that we've seen in COVID times, we've seen some industries have had a boom because there's now demand, maybe like at-home stirrups and stuff like that.
Why not? Absolutely.
It could end up being an industry.
Time for my appointment.
Absolutely. You know what you do? Just take the Casey, you're a cyclist. Just get on your bike and put them up on the handlebars.
You could do that.
Hang on a second. I want to go to Carl. Carl, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, what up, oranges? Oh, wait, no, you're triangles.
Wait a minute. What was that from?
What is that from?
It was me.
When Casey was talking about that dumb Cracker Barrel game.
Oh, that's
the game. What's up, Carl?
We always mess up our shapes and colors. It's all good.
Yes, yeah.
So I had what I thought was a weird bulge in my belly button area, and I thought, this is kind of weird. I should tell a nurse, like my sister's a nurse, and she said, you have to send us a picture and we can look at it. So I'm like, how am I going to take a belly button selfie? I work in a machine shop.
Yep.
So I'm standing there with my new phone, with the camera facing me, holding my shirt up with my chin, trying to take a picture in the middle of this welding machine shop. And my boss comes over, he goes, am I disturbing anything? I said, no. I said, I'm just trying to take a picture of my belly button, which was an even dumber response because I should have just said, hey, I think I have a hernia. Mm-hmm. So, I got the right angle. I didn't have to straddle the phone, thank God, but they did wind up sending me to the hospital, and I did have an umbilical hernia.
Wow. So it worked. It ended up being the thing that needed to be done. Okay.
You should just told your boss it was for your OnlyFans page.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, belly buttons only. I had to have emergency surgery. It was like my belly button, so it saved my life.
No, so there you go. So and that saved you the time. They could diagnose it right over there and get you in for something more serious. But still, I guarantee you, there are people who, inopportune moments, the door opens up and you have the iPhone up your ass.
Right.
What is this, Doc?
Here's a text that says, I almost broke my penis having sex. We've heard of that before. And had to do a Zoom call and show the doctor. It was awkward at first, but she's seen many penises, he says.
But it was his dentist. No, but that's rather common. And if something like that could be taken care of, you know what? Would you feel? Let me ask you. You're in the privacy of your own home. Would you feel even more comfortable in the confines of your own home? You're not in a doctor's office.
I think that the fact that they might be, what might be in the back of someone's mind is this being recorded?
Totally.
Yeah. And can somebody else get their hands on this type of thing?
Of course it's being recorded.
So, listen, I've gotten used to dropping trow and letting whatever doctors need to do whatever they need to do. And I never look forward to it, obviously, but it doesn't bother me now, but it may have at another age.
I think for me, it represents a whole new possibility. As you said, Preston, if you go and you're sitting in the office for an hour and a half and you have a time and you've got things to do during your day and so what could be done in 10 minutes takes 2.5, 3 hours. To me, that's a win.
I'm wondering to what extent it'll be because when you go in for almost anything, a couple of things they almost always do are weigh you, check your temperature, just to get a basic vibe on your overall well-being. So I wonder if they're able to, when we return to normal, if they would be able to overlook those couple of things. You know what I mean?
Well, there are things now, by the way, and this is part of where the industry is going, and I saw an article on this, where you would actually have, whether it be through your Apple Watch or your phone, or you'd take your temperature. It would send the data to the doctor in real time, and your vitals, your blood pressure, however, even like a remotely controlled cuff or something.
Be cool.
That'd be able to do it. So yeah.
In order to skip the hassle of going to the doctor, I'd be happy with that in a heartbeat,
Listen,
man.
What if you had something that had to be removed and the doctor talked Rochelle through it?
Oh my God!
Would you? Right? Would you be up for that?
I would have complete confidence.
I mean, she's so good with the YouTube stuff.
Here is a text that says, I have eczema on my hands, which is fairly new. I couldn't control it and did a Zoom meeting with my doctor, and he said, I don't think it's staph. Which triggered me, so I went. No, I think they might have said, I think it's staph, which triggered me, so I went to a dermatologist and did indeed have MRSA.
Wow.
Whoa. So they had seen that. Wow, okay.
I mean, that sometimes that's all it takes, but the notion of someone straddling their computer.
I mean, seriously, I couldn't get over it. I was like, really?
Well, are there USB cameras that you can, right? Maybe you want to have one at the ready. If you're calling your gynecologist.
Well,
a little ring light that attaches to your thigh.
See, no, that's what I was going to say. She goes, well, I do have the ring light set up anyway for when I do, conference calls and stuff like that. She's like, so it was there anyway. So she had a light. She literally shined a light.
Yeah. I guess you want to know what's wrong with you? Then
I mean, all right. Can you the microphone? Could you please make sure that's inside there?
No, I'm losing signal.
If there was if I had to do this, I would have to try and create like a perspective that made everything like look
bigger,
or maybe.
Are you getting it all in the frame? Because I got a whopper here, Doc.
It would have to do something where,
like an anamorphic lens.
Yeah, or all right. So how if you're trying to take a picture of evidence, and you don't know. Like you lay a
something for
dollar bill next to it, so it gives it perspective.
So here's what you do, Case. When you're going to your urologist and your junk is being displayed, get the people who take the pictures of the houses for Zillow.
Yes.
They always make them look much bigger.
Yeah.
No, Casey's going to go out and he's going to buy a dollar bill that's a third the size of a regular dollar bill. See? Just make sure like your hands aren't in the picture too, because then you look like you have these huge giant hands.
Do you ever see like the guys who hold like the TV remote up against their junk, like and like come on. But they should market all sorts of ultra tiny, and you use like a little doll hand to hold it.
Right. Miniature tennis racket or something like that. My God,
I'm so big.
Little Women star Florence Hughes is shutting down criticism over the age gap between her and her boyfriend, Zach Braff. She's 24, he's 44.
That's 20 years.
And here's how it went down. She posted a shot of herself, and he commented with a princess emoji, and a follower remarked, "You're 44 years old." And she responded, "And yet he got it." There you go.
That's awesome stuff.
Yeah,
I love that kind of byplay on social media. And yet he got it.
And yet he got it. Wow.
I mean, Little Women. I'm so little.
Zach Braff.
Let's see. Little Women already did that one.
Women, you came back. You made a mistake.
I did.
It's okay. Little Women make mistakes too.
Let's go over Vanessa Hudgens. She gave recent ex Austin Butler a taste of what he's missing on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so help me out with this.
Okay, anything on Instagram is awesome.
She posted a series of shots of herself in a suit.
In like a three-piece men's suit?
I don't know. Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. Writing Thirsty Thursday. Y'all, LOL. I don't really have many picks that qualify, so not sure how long this will last. But for now, we wet.
We wet?
Damn.
We wet.
We wet. Sopping wet.
Thirsty.
Yo.
Thirsty.
Did she hashtag it Thirsty Thursday?
Yeah.
We wet. We wet, man.
We wet.
Buckets of girly juice.
It's just, she's just saying, that she's thirsty.
Yo.
To all the boys out there.
Does that mean thirsty as in I need something to drink?
No.
Thirsty for sex.
I need something in my mouth.
Yeah.
That's not food.
That's not food.
You didn't have to go to oral.
Well, I mean, listen, I just assume that's how you get things started.
Yeah. That's how you get the thirsty train rolling.
It's very generous of you.
Yeah.
Did anyone find this picture of her?
She must have posted it on her stories because it's not on her.
All right.
feed.
Well, she wasn't that thirsty then, and she didn't want to.
She was only temporarily. She was thirsty for 24 hours.
Let's just say she was peckish.
But let me run that quote by you again.
Okay.
Y'all, LOL. I don't really have many picks that qualify, so not sure how long this will last for. But for now, we wet.
We wet.
Nice beaver.
We wet beaver.
We wet. She's a lovely young lady, and she wet.
I mean, come on. How can you not be embarrassed writing crap like that? Really? And I love her. I think she's awesome.
We wet.
She posted a Thirsty Thursday post 2 weeks ago as well, so she's been thirsty for a while.
Oh, she's really thirsty.
Or she just gets thirsty on Thursdays.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, she's on a special diet where you only drink on Thursday. And I mean that's the only liquid you consume. Come on. Thank you, Kathy. Let's see. Word of the Week prize is going to give that away today. 4-pack of tickets for the sold-out show, Lincoln Park, Monday at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. So don't miss that. Do not want you to miss that. It's the end of the show. But we're headed into the weekend. It is a Friday morning, and let's eat.
It's time for the Connoisseur.
Yes, it is. We have some wonderful things to talk about today, as well as some great prizes to win. We'll play the clips in a moment and get it to you. But we're going to start with this. Campbell's want you to know it's about more than just soup. But that doesn't mean the company is giving up on its namesake product. At an investor event this past Tuesday, the chief executive, Mark Klaus, revealed that the storied company will ask shareholders to approve a name change from Campbell's Soup Company to the Campbell's Company.
Oh.
So they're hanging on to the Campbell's part of it.
Okay, because there's so much more than.
That's exactly it. It is a significant shift that underscores how much transformation has occurred since Klaus took over in January 2019.
We were just over there, Preston and I, at the home office of the
headquarters.
The headquarters, right over there in Camden, across the parking lot from Subaru of America. And they have a ton of stuff that is now under the Campbell's umbrella.
Yep. And in fact, Steve and I went shopping. They have a store there, by the way.
Yeah.
And anyone can go to it. You do have to go through security and let them know that you're there to shop. But they have this Campbell's store, which you can actually get some hard-to-find items that you won't find at the standard grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay, like what?
Well, like they have larger portions of their soups and sauces in bags that you can get that are frozen.
Oh.
So you can buy some things kind of in bulk there. And then I'm not sure what products they used to. They don't have it anymore, but here's an example. They used to have Tim Tams there.
Right.
Which are out of Australia, these cookies. They don't have them any longer, but you could find things like that.
They have a wider variety of Pepperidge Farm, like the cookies that you may not see in collections that you might not see at the supermarket. They have them there.
I bought Pepperidge Farm swirls.
Oh, I love those.
Bread, and this one was
Cinnamon raisin? Or?
No.
Sorry.
Lemon and blueberry.
What?
Right?
What?
Pepperidge Farm is inviting you to have a swirly.
So I got those, and that was wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have fallen in love with the microwavable Campbell's spicy chicken noodle soup.
Yeah,
But
I picked up a few of those from the store.
Yeah, so, but you can't always find it, you know?
Now you have an option.
Nearly half of the companies sales come from snacks, including such brands as Goldfish crackers, Kettle chips as well. Meanwhile, the growth potential of the meals and beverage segment, which includes soups as well as sauce brands like Prego and Pace, have been significantly upgraded with the recent acquisition of the Rao's pasta sauce brand. They were telling us about that when we were there. Yet it remains the case that in his more than 5-year tenure at Campbell's, one of Klaus's most significant achievements has been the stabilization of the soup business, which was in a free fall when he arrived. This is a Michael Klein article, by the way.
Do you guys know the history of John Dorrance? He's the chemist who invented essentially condensed soup, and he was the president of Campbell for a long time. John Dorrance's estate became Cabrini College. There are several Dorrance mansions in and around the Philadelphia area, including Mary Dorrance's in Paoli. And I always knew about this mansion because of the connection to Campbell's soup, but I didn't know that the reason why they made so much money is that this dude invented condensed soup. So he really launched Campbell's in a direction that it was, it changed the world in a lot of respects.
So they could sell it so that's why you have to add liquid to it.
That's right.
Or milk because it's condensed.
Yeah, and he'd never done it before. And nobody had ever done it before. And he was this chemist who went to MIT. And his legacy is really impressive.
Let me tell you, talking to some of the people over there, and we had all the departments, a lot of people coming over and just saying hi, they listen to the show, but the amount of work that goes into making sure a taste is right or all that stuff is very meticulous.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of why I trust a lot of times the major chains.
Yeah,
because this has just been, there's been R&D and research and R&D. So like they are testing this stuff all the time.
Most definitely. So as an example of recent innovation in soup, the company cited the rollout of new spicy flavors aimed at younger consumers following the success of its ghost pepper chicken noodle soup. Is that the one you were talking about, Case?
It's not ghost pepper because I'm not a ghost pepper guy. My son is, but
blow your friggin' head off.
Blow your head off. Yeah,
You love soup though.
Yeah. I love soup and I love spicy. Listen, I'll give it a go because just the regular spicy chicken noodle, and then they have a spicy chicken burrito soup, I think, as well.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at
Beautiful song. That was one of Dylan's earliest.
Yeah.
So new additions include Nashville-style hot chicken soup, which is currently being featured in an ad with Jason Kelsey, and an even spicier limited edition Carolina Reaper soup.
Holy hell.
Why is today's youth so like they love
heat oriented?
Yes.
I listen. I am a complete wuss when it comes to that stuff. I cannot stand it. I think it obscures the taste.
Yeah.
But you're right. These super hot things
Super
are
hot,
incredibly popular.
and gummy candies.
Yeah, well, it's the extreme. So how much like the sour stuff, the extremely sour stuff that's been around for a long time. They're having fun with it. They're seeing that if they can withstand it. You know what I mean? It's kind of
but also
outside of the flavor, it's just it's funny.
Can you do it?
All right,
You know,
so
yeah.
but like ramen, right? My kids, they're like, oh, it's just regular ramen. They need the spicy ramen.
I need it on fire. I need burns on the roof of my mouth.
So at the same time, the company said that it could see rising soup sales from an aging population, including elder millennials. Elder millennials. I've never heard that phrase before.
Oh, is that where we're
That's
headed?
right. Where should I need something that doesn't require teeth to eat?
God,
Jesus Christ!
Seriously?
As
Is that like, are we calling them elder now, or is that like the older of the millennials?
Oh, Kathy, I'm a big fan. I love the patterns of your liver spots.
I think it just means the older, the higher end of the millennial.
So Marissa is an elder.
She's an elder millennial.
She's an elder millennial.
Oh, you poor thing.
So as older consumers tend to buy more soup. Encouragingly, it is revamping its healthy request line of lower sodium soups, which has long underperformed in the market despite addressing a widespread health concern with canned soup.
We're massive fans of Campbell's, and they're incredibly supportive of the Camp Out for Hunger.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So thank you. I love them forever and ever. I just want to side
love
note.
them long time.
I love them long time. This music right here. I just found this out. So this is the music that Captain America and Agent Carter are dancing to at the end of Endgame. This is also the music that Nick Fury is listening to when he is in Captain America's apartment in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
The same piece of music.
Do you know that it's kiss me once and kiss me twice and kiss me once again?
That's what this is?
Yeah.
Nice. So, by the way, the elder millennials, also known as geriatric millennials.
Holy hell!
Are people born between 1980 and 1985 and are currently in their mid to late 30s or early 40s.
I
So
don't
Marissa
actually eat the hot soup. I soak my feet in it.
Marissa is a geriatric millennial.
Wow. It's kind of adorable. It's kind of like Yoda.
Nick, what are we?
X.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Generation X as well. I'm on the upper end of Generation X.
I'm Generation Jurassic.
And Casey, I forget, who is Forrest Gump's girlfriend?
Gen A.
That's right.
Gen A. All right, let's play a clip and see if we can identify this food clip. What movie is this from?
Have you ever had oysters? Did you know oysters are an aphrodisiac? Oh, sorry. Tongue's kind of big.
All right. 215-263 WMMR. By the way, Casey, is everybody getting this?
Yes.
Everyone who gets correct answers today gets to go to the MMR barbecue.
Say what?
Next Saturday. All right, now we can do it. Hang on. We're
Is your bell left up?
Yeah, we're out of sync today.
Here.
All right, here we go. Philadelphia's Halloween pop-up bars and restaurants. Craftsman Row Saloon. This stuff starts today, by the way, Friday the 13th. Perfect for this.
She's completely like morphed into a themed bar now.
Right.
Like
She did the Christmas stuff,
She did
right?
the Christmas stuff. Now she's doing everything else.
It's been very lucrative, right?
I don't know. I mean, she goes all out. Like those decorations, it's got to take them. It's got to take like an entire team to do that.
Craftsman Row Saloon is going to open today with a Tim Burton-inspired season haunt.
Beetlejuice.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
Craftsman's annual theme will expand this year with more decorations and more friends. And look for not only inspiration and references to Jack Skellington, Sally and the Boogeyman, but also nods to Beetlejuice and Wednesday as well. The Jewelers Row restaurant will be covered from floor to ceiling. And the most Halloween decorations ever in its history, dozens of floating witches' hats, more pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns than before, 2,000 more Halloween lights, hundreds more skull and bones, 500 more feet of cobwebs, 50 more floating ghouls, and a new spider installation with giant spiders crawling from the ceiling. The booths are adorned in Beetlejuice fashion, and several skeleton walls and spooky candles frame the space. Nick pulled up a picture of the interior. Looks pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
I love stuff like this. You know, I'm not go to a bar to drink, but the restaurant, this whole layout looks really cool.
Yeah, but
Well, they
Steve,
also
you
have the
should-
over-the-top milkshake.
Yeah, you should go for the
All right, then I'll
milkshake.
go
You
for
don't
the
need to go for
milkshakes.
alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm pissed though because we tried to go. I don't know if it was last year or the year before.
Couldn't
but,
get in?
No, well, we had reservations. They're very, very meticulous about their times.
Yeah.
and,
Because it's actually a small place.
yeah, it's a small place, and we had gotten there because it was like for my wife's birthday, and we had gone like bowling, and then we were supposed to go there afterwards. Whatever. We got there like 10 minutes late, and they were like, "Oh, we're
you."
Yeah, I was like, "You
bastard."
Yeah, I know.
Listen, I thought it was like a 10-minute grace period.
I thought
It usually is.
For dinner.
Yeah.
I mean, for restaurant reservations.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
it was 15 minutes, but
Like,
it wasn't
so
any
it was
more than
over-
that. It doesn't matter. Like
Maybe it
we
was
had-
the next day.
Yeah, I mean, we showed up 5 people, kids and all, and they were like, "Sorry." I'm like, "Oh."
Casey Boy from the Preston and Steve
I didn't
show?
pull that. I said I was Matt Cord.
Oh, you should have because she loves us. She's a really nice person, the owner.
Oh, okay.
My name is Jerry Blavitt.
Yeah, well, she wasn't the one who turned us away. It
Yeah,
was
I
the-
know. You should ask for her.
So anyhow, it opens today. Thought that was kind of interesting and worth bringing up. All right, let's see if you know what movie this from.
Have you ever had oysters? Did you know oysters are an aphrodisiac? Oh, sorry. Tongue's kind of big.
All right, let's go to, it says Emmerich. Is your name Emmerich?
Yes, it is. Hey, you guys rock.
Good. Thank you, Emmerich. We appreciate it. All right, what movie is that from, please?
I believe that's from White Chick.
White Chicks. Correct, sir. Hang on. We got a prize for you.
All right, Emmerich, you have won a pair of tickets for the MMRBQ. This is going to be next Saturday. That's September 21st, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. 8 bands, including The Offspring, Hailstorm, plus the Preston and Steve side stage with a live band karaoke and Froggy. And for one low price, tickets start at just $25 plus fees, and they are found at Ticketmaster.com.
All right, another movie clip. It's about food. Let's see if you can identify this.
Your part, eggplant.
Hey. You're a cantaloupe.
All right, 215-263-WMMR. Order up. So I was wrong. That last article, I don't know if that was from Michael Klein, but this one is.
Uh-huh.
This one is definitely Michael Klein's. Longer happy hours are coming to Pennsylvania starting today under new state rules that will allow bars to extend their discounting from 14 to 24 hours a week.
Wait, so I didn't realize that was like a
rule.
a
Mandate.
a regulation.
Yes,
Wow.
this and other new rules overwhelmingly supported by the legislature and backed by industry groups as potential boons for both customers and owners are a sign of loosening of Pennsylvania's liquor laws.
Yeah, so I first saw the story over the summer, and Kath, I was the same thing. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that there were like state regulations that says you're only allowed to have X amount of hours of happy hour a week.
You thought it was the proprietor who decided how many hours would be happy hour.
I'm like, wow, okay.
So
this is
so
interesting.
what is it that's regulated? The discounted liquor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to do with the prices that you charge.
Okay.
I believe. So the state is also allowing bars to sell up to 2 discounted combination meals a day, such as a burger and a beer, or a glass of wine with a steak. Also, bars may include 2 drinks in the price of a ticket to create a self-sponsored event, such as a Super Bowl or New Year's Eve party. The changes follow the recent approval of canned cocktails in retail outlets beyond the state-run fine wine and good spirit stores and making COVID-era outdoor seating regulations permanent. It remains to be seen how many bar owners will take advantage of the happy hour extension, which was first raised last year by Tom Tyler, president of the Pennsylvania Licensed Beverage and Tavern Association.
Is that Tiny Tom Tyler?
And he's also the owner of McStew's Irish Pub in Levittown. Many Philadelphia area bar owners seem satisfied to offer specials for 10 hours a week, as they have been, and a traditional pre-dinner slot on weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. or 5 to 7 p.m. Some bars add a 2-hour block in late evenings. By law, all happy hours must end by midnight and not exceed 4 hours at a clip.
Oh, I
So
feel
it's
like
all regulated.
I always miss the happy hour. I don't know any that go to until midnight, but I always miss the happy hour. And like if we get there and there's like 10 minutes left, we're like, can we get 7 margaritas? We'll take the tacos. We'll take.
Yep.
I wonder how much trouble bars would get in if they extended them on their own. Because I was at a bar after the Pearl Jam show on Saturday night, and they just stayed open until like 2:30, 2:45. It was well past the time that they were supposed to close, and they just kept serving people. And if like anybody from the state or the LCB walked in or whatever, they'd be in so much trouble. But they just didn't seem to care, you know.
But there
Local broadcaster Nick McElwain was illegally drinking.
No, yeah. What are the ramifications if they do that? Do they get a warning or?
Well, there are some places that can serve after 2.
This was not one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Like, okay, so we used to go to the bungalow back in the day, and bungalow was.
Wait, I was there before.
Stop it! You came to Delco,
dude. Casey,
you probably hit on her.
My best friend from college. I would go home with her every once in a while. She lived in Upper Darby, and her sister, her older sister, took us to the bungalow. We were 21, but she took us to the bungalow, and
it was after. Was it after hours?
Yes, I think.
Were you 21, or is that what your ID
No.
said?
We were 21.
Okay.
Yeah, it was after hours. I forget where we went. It was like Tom and something, maybe.
Tom and Jerry's?
Was Tom and Jerry's something? I feel like we went there. And then we
Tom and Jerry's is in like Ridley.
And then we went to Bungalow.
Okay. Afterwards. I mean, those are 2 Delco staples right there.
So going back to the happy hour thing, although most local bars won't come close to using all 24 hours a week, which would mean 4 hours of specials 6 days a week. Chuck Moran, who's the executive director of the Pennsylvania Licensed Beverage and Tavern Association, said that there was a general feeling that it gives our members more creative opportunities for marketing purposes. So that starts today.
It's pretty wild.
Expanded or more happy hours where you go. All right, let's see if you know what movie this is from.
New part, eggplant.
Hey. You're a cantaloupe.
Let's go to Tyler. Hey, Tyler, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good. All right, Tyler, food-based clip from what movie?
One of my favorites of all time, True Romance.
Correct. Correct. You're going to the MM Barbecue. Hang on the line, buddy.
Yeah, Tyler, we're going to see you next week. And MM Barbecue, Saturday, September 21st, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. 8 bands, including The Offspring, Hailstorm, plus the Preston Steve side stage with live band karaoke and Froggy. Tickets start at just $25 plus fees at Ticketmaster.
All right, we're going to play the next clip. Steve, this is one of your faves. And let's see if you can identify what movie this is from.
Can I get a knife and fork?
There were no utensils in medieval times, hence there are no utensils at medieval times. Would you like a refill on that Pepsi?
There were no utensils, but there was Pepsi?
Dude, I got a lot of tables.
All right, 215-263-WMMR. Order up. And it's time for the Fast Food Roundup.
This cracks me up.
All right, we're going to start with Shake Shack. I think they're more fast casual, but I'll put them in the fast food category. Football season, Shake Shack has decided to offer, and this is a pretty sweet deal, free chicken sandwiches every Sunday for the next 13 weeks to celebrate. And it's easy to get it. You place a $10 minimum order on the Shake Shack app or in-store kiosk or the website, and then you enter the code Chicken Sunday, and it'll get you 1 free chicken sandwich after all the other items have been added to the cart.
You think this is because Chick-fil-A is
I
closed on
was
Sundays?
just going to say.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the new offer has generated some positive reviews that include former quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick dedicating his first Instagram post to the deal, and ESPN reporter Adam Schefter also acknowledging the news on social.
Have you ever had there? I mean,
I've not. I only get burgers there.
Yeah.
I've never had a chicken sandwich.
That's your
there.
place.
But they're great. So I gotta believe it's a good chicken sandwich. Don't really know. Another fast food story. And it's also football related. There's a new $5 Big Noon Saucy Deal. That's what it's called. That has just been launched by Wendy's to celebrate the football season. The deal is only for a limited time, and it is digital exclusive. The $5 Big Noon Saucy Deal is available exclusively on the app at Wendy's.com or Wendy's.com. And it includes 6 all-white meat crispy chicken nuggets, shaken in your choice of sauce.
Holy hell.
A small order of natural cut fries, and a small drink for $5. In addition, they're offering $0 delivery fee each Saturday on orders placed on the app through December 14th. And the $5 Big Noon sauce deal is available through September 30th at participating Wendy's locations for a limited time. And then one other one, this is also they're calling it a fast food restaurant. It's Southern California's plant-based fast food chain Heart House.
Yes.
Closed all 4 locations just a couple days ago.
I don't know what that is.
It's Kevin Hart's fast food restaurant. It debuted in 2022 with Kevin Hart, leading the charge to promote its mission for a vegan lifestyle. Hart House CEO Andy Cooper confirmed the news, and this is a typical statement from a CEO of something that just went under. It's over. It says,
it died.
The response to the product has been incredible, and we thank our committed team, our customers, and our community partners for helping make the change we all craved and for their unwavering support of Hart House. Your business just went under.
We couldn't believe the lines were out the door, so we're so sad we have to close.
But there's some
profit margins were incredible.
There is a market for this, and I'm surprised especially in like Southern California. But like just something.
But that could be the problem. You might have a lot of competition.
Yeah,
but,
but just if you want to get something fast and vegan,
So I mean, you don't really hear of drive-through fast food vegan restaurants.
Yeah, all right. So Andre Gardner down the hall is vegan, and dude, his go-to Taco Bell.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, hang on,
beefy burrito.
Well, I saw him walk in there, and
he's a lapsed vegan.
No, but I was like, are you vegan? He's like, yeah, but like they're like the bean burrito,
Sure. Hip City Veg. They're phenomenal at fast food, and they're
fast.
Yeah. Well, they're. I mean, I guess you can sit down. But I don't know where it sits. If they'd be in the Shake Shack realm, I guess.
In 2020, Hart announced that he adopted a mostly plant-based diet and began working with Hooper to develop a fast food brand selling chicken sandwiches, nuggets, and burgers for under $8 and combo meals less than $15. Hart House avoided using Beyond and Impossible products by developing its line of proprietary patties. It opened its first location in August of 2022 in Westchester, a block from LAX and In-N-Out Burger. Second location debuted in November of that year, and then University Park's location opened in 2023. The flagship Hart House location didn't come out till May 2023 on the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Highland Avenue, featuring a drive-through, which is intended to be replicated for future stores. But the restaurant industry is still facing challenges due to lingering effects from the pandemic, rising operational costs, and the faltering local film and TV industry. In early September 2024, the ambitious East Coast burger chain Shake Shack had to close 5 L.A. area stores, which is kind of interesting. Though Hart House and Shake Shack both diminished their L.A. presence within a week of each other, the state of California is expecting a significant boost in fast food jobs, even as the state's mandated minimum wage increased from $15.50 to $20 an hour in April of this year.
You mentioned the In-N-Out, which is near LAX, and there are actually 2. If you leave LAX and you go north, there's one a few blocks, and if you go south, there's one a few blocks, and that's very intentional. As soon as you land in Los Angeles, either direction you go in, you'll be at an In-N-Out very quickly.
You've heard the legend of In-N-Out, and it's right there for you to try.
I've been to both.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if somebody can identify this food clip. Here it is.
Can I get a knife and fork?
There were no utensils in medieval times, hence there are no utensils at medieval times. Would you like a refill on that Pepsi?
There were no utensils, but there was Pepsi?
Dude, I got a lot of tables.
All right, let me go to Heather. Hi, Heather. Good morning. Hi, Heather. Can you hear me? You're on the air. Heather.
I bet her head's out the window.
Hi.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Here I am.
All right, Heather, what movie is that from?
Cable Guy.
Yeah. You got it. Hang on, Heather. Here's what we have for you.
Excellent. We're going to see you next week at the MMRBQ, Saturday, September 21st, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion with 8 bands and the Preston and Steve side stage. You can get one low-price ticket starting at just $25 plus fees at Ticketmaster.
All right, let's do another food clip. And what movie is this one from?
Ask me if I like cheese.
Okay. Do you like cheese?
Well, why, yes, I do. My favorite's Gouda.
Okay. I like Gouda too.
All right.
215-263. Not familiar with that one.
WMMR. Let's see if you know what that is. All right, order up. Sportscasting.com compared the prices for the combo at all 32 NFL stadiums this season and found that the average cost, this is, by the way, the best hot dog and a beer combo.
All right.
So the best deals and worst deals that you can find. The most expensive beer, so the average cost for one beer and a hot dog is $15.02.
Come on.
I know.
Ridiculous.
The most expensive beers are at Caesars Superdome, home of the New Orleans Saints, and Levi's Stadium, where the 49ers play. The most expensive beers are $12 each.
I thought we were up
for
there.
those.
We were. Supposedly, that was a couple of years ago, though.
Yeah.
Now, what it doesn't say in this is if that's a draft beer, which it sounds like it probably is.
Yeah, probably.
I don't believe that's so because if you go buy the larger cans, they're like
What do they run?
$20 or something like that. Yeah, I remember. I told you guys I went to a Phil's game earlier this year. The bartender I went up to, I ordered 3 beers, the tall ones, and she was a listener to the show, by the way. And she comes over and she goes, "That'll be $6 million."
Oh, she said that.
Oh yeah, I was like, "That's awesome."
I bought a beer for me and Matt Cord at the Pearl Jam concert on Saturday night, and it was $39 for.
Woo!
By the way, which
I mean,
I know
you can buy a case of beer.
I know.
You could buy a brewery.
Does it say in this article which sport is the most expensive?
No, this is just football.
Does it gotta imagine pickleball.
I'm curious. I don't know if
football?
if football stadiums are more expensive than baseball stadiums, or if they're all pretty much on par.
If I can, here's an observation though. Think about this. The cost is probably there are not as many food vendors like at the Link, right? You're not dealing with right.
I've only been to one football stadium, and that's the Link. No, I went to the one in Seattle. But anyway, I don't know with the variety and pricing, and sometimes it's the same vendor for each stadium. Aramark, I think, does all the ones in South Philly.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much they change the prices or not.
I'm curious because if you would think because if you had more competition, the prices would be lower, which would make me believe that they're probably more expensive at the Link. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, but I have no idea. Like from city to city and from because Casey, you went and saw a game in
Arizona.
No, in San Francisco.
Yes.
Was it Levi?
No, that was Candlestick. And what a dump that place was.
Okay, that was my
Yes.
next question.
Yeah.
Because it was a dump, was it any cheaper?
I don't recall because I was heavily intoxicated.
Okay.
I literally and the bathrooms were terrible. At one point, I had to pee so bad, and the wait for the bathrooms probably no less than a half an hour. And I literally walked down the stairwell, pissed underneath the stairwell, and nobody said a word. Like it was.
In fact, you got a round of applause.
Welcome to San Francisco.
Yeah. And also 49ers fans. That's why I'm so sick of hearing about Birds fans. They're the worst and they're cowards. So.
All right, so the priciest hot dogs are those at Lumen Field, home of the Seahawks, and SoFi Stadium, home of the Rams and Chargers. They charge $8.49 for a hot dog, for one single hot dog.
I always have such a hard time. The prices are going to be a lot, but when you can buy an entire case of beer or pack of hot dogs for the same or a cheaper price than what they're charging you for one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what other stadium I went to that was a dump, but I loved it? Was the Buffalo Bills Stadium. And I got a hot dog. I'm a hot dog guy. I always get hot dogs. That hot dog there was the best stadium hot dog I ever had.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for Lumen Field is the most expensive stadium for the beer and hot dog combo. $19.98 is what that'll run you. $20 for a beer and a hot dog.
If you have
That's
to have
crazy.
a loan officer at the hot dog stand, there's your indication you're going to pay a lot.
Soldier Field was second in Chicago, and that'll cost you $19. The cheapest combo can be found at Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home of the Falcons, where it's only $7.49 thanks to their $2 hot dogs. Now, that's worth it compared to the others.
Yeah, it's a steal.
The only other stadium that offers the combo for less than $10 is Miami's Hard Rock Stadium, and that's $9.98.
So here's what you do. You go to Costco, buy your hot dogs in advance.
Yeah.
Already prepared. Hide them around yourself, on your person, and then go into the stadium.
By the way, the cheapest beer that you can find, 4 NFL venues have it, Atlanta, Miami, and the Jets, MetLife, $5.49 you can get a beer for.
What?
Yeah. I don't know how many ounces
like
that
a
is.
sip of a beer, or can you just smell somebody's breath who just drank beer?
Maybe that's
cup.
it. I don't know. All right. We'll see if you know what movie this food clip is from. Here we go.
Ask me if I like cheese.
Okay. Do you like cheese?
Well, why, yes, I do. My favorite's Gouda.
Oh, I like Gouda too.
All right. Let me go to Stacy. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, how are you?
Awesome. What movie is that from, please?
She's the Man.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Amanda Bynes.
Well done.
Yep. Hang on a second here. Here's what we have for you, Stacy.
Stace, we're going to hook you up, and we're going to see you next week at the MMRBQ. It's going to be Saturday, September 21st at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. We got 8 bands and the Preston and Steve side stage, and tickets start at just $25 plus fees at Ticketmaster.com.
All right, we have one last, I got it here, Case. One last movie clip to play. Let's see if you can identify this.
No man controls my destiny. The Especially that one who attacks downwind and stinks of garlic.
All right, 215-263-WMMR. Call if you know the answer. All right, final Connoisseur story this morning, and we have a special guest commentator. Last year I decided to include a hack,
right?
A food hack of some sort, and that can be cooking or, in this case, ordering something. Casey's got a food hack for us this morning.
Are you our repeat hacker?
Well, this is the second hack.
The back-to-back hack?
The back-to-back hack with the pancake or
Don't talk
cake hack. So this was something that I had seen on shut up. I seated at
Where did you seated this?
I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, okay, I got to see if this works. So I told you guys I was going to try this. It is a hack to get a $4.55 burrito from Chipotle.
How much does a burrito normally cost?
Around $9, somewhere between $9 and like $13, something along those lines. Now, I will say that this hack will give you a burrito that is slightly smaller, but it is still plenty. Right?
Okay.
All right. So for $4.55, go to the Chipotle app. I haven't tried this in store. I only did this on the app. What you do is you order one taco. Okay, whatever protein you want. I'm a barbacoa guy. I love barbacoa, so I did a barbacoa taco. Now, when you order one taco, you can order all these sides for free. It's no additional charge. So you get a side of rice.
You get a
side of rice. You get a side of beans. You get a side of whatever you want to do. And then at the very end, you buy one tortilla. So I bought a hard taco. I could maybe try and do this but the soft taco shell's not big enough. So you buy one tortilla for 50 cents. You bring it home, and then you assemble the burrito all by yourself.
So you're basically buying the fixings, and then you assemble it at home.
All right. Did you have to deconstruct the hard taco?
No. All I did was just because the hard taco was just the meat and the cheese.
Yeah.
And everything else was on the side. All I did was I dumped the hard taco into the
okay.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so it comes in the hard shell, and you just dump it out into the
so I put
the tortilla, and then you put all the sides in there and roll it up. And how's your burrito rolling skills?
It could be better, but it wasn't
takes some
bad.
practice.
I sent you guys a picture of what I did.
It looked passable.
It was passable. The only time is when I got to like the bottom quarter of it, when it started to fall apart.
And
that's where you realize that you know the burrito makers at Chipotle are like top notch.
They know what they're doing.
Definitely,
because you'll look at it and go, "There's no way they're cramming all that into that tortilla."
And if you don't want the food to shower down the front of your shirt, you might want to go with the pros.
And then I used the leftover taco shell that had all the amazing seasoning on it. I just use that as like chips and salsa.
You crazy son of a bitch.
Listen to that. Casey's got it for you. That's his hack. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Don't talk back.
Yes. Yakety yak. All right, we will see if you know what movie this is from.
No man controls my destiny. Especially that one who attacks downwind and stinks of garlic.
All right, we will go to Ivy to see if we can get the answer. Hi there, Ivy.
Hi, good morning,
Good morning to see you, Ivy. And what movie is that from?
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
That's correct. Yes!
Well done.
Morgan Freeman with the delivery, and here's what we have for you.
All right, Ivy, let's hang. Next week, MMRBQ Saturday, September 21st, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. 8 bands, including The Offspring and Hailstorm, plus the Preston East Side stage with live band karaoke and our friends Froggy. And you can get tickets starting at just $25 plus fees at Ticketmaster.com.
Excellent. And that will then... what?
That's it?
Yeah, that's a why.
Oh, you didn't have the story that I sent you?
What'd you send me?
Kathy's hurt.
Oh, wait, we can do one more. What was it?
It was just about a beloved local Montgomery County bar opening a second location.
Oh, my God. Okay. Yes.
It was at that moment that Kathy knew that Preston didn't respect her.
No. So I don't think you sent me... The link you sent me was kind of funky. But anyhow...
Do you want me to read all of the
Guppies
details?
is opening up a separate location. But you're going to have to travel... Where is it, Kath?
He is opening a second location in Florida.
Florida.
What?
I know.
What?
Longboat Key, Florida. It's on the Gulf of Mexico Drive. And the reason I wanted you to report on this is because the Kathy Romano rap will travel down to Florida.
Yes! That's great.
So he's doing it it's a whole Philly theme in the bar in Florida. So Robin lives in Florida now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is why I guess he found this location. It's a few towns over from where he moved.
Who's overseeing the Guppies here?
So he still travels back and forth, but he has a manager that runs Guppies for him.
We went to his house, right? Did we go to his house to pick up a car or drop off a car? Or?
Remember when I borrowed the
Maserati, right?
Maserati from him? Yes, that's so he doesn't live there anymore.
Okay,
that was closer to Tampa, but no. So this bar is in Longboat Key. It's near like Anna Maria is like the tip of it. So it's a little bit of a drive.
So this weekend, is it open yet? Just fly down to Florida and go to Guppy's.
So he is looking to open. I forget what Sunday it is and which football game, but it is in September. But it's 80 miles south of Philly spring training.
Where you can get the Kathy Romano wrap.
Yeah, so whole Philly theme. He's going to do like the Harper Burger, things like that are all going to be.
Any Preston and Steve stuff
on his menu? Just Kathy Romano right now.
I mean, I want the whole show.
Yeah. All right, well, good for him.
Yeah.
Excellent. And we'll have to, when we're in spring training, we'll just take a quick little 80-mile jaunt.
Drive. But it's a great vacation spot. Where he lives and where this is absolutely gorgeous. And he said there's like a couple of beautiful resorts there, hotels.
Nice.
So it's a nice place.
Excellent. Good for him. All right, now we can wrap up the Connoisseur. Sorry about that, Kath. I did realize I had omitted that. All right, we will take a break. We got a couple things coming up. Back to school A to Z. We will delve into the one and only Somewhere song that we have on the list. It's in the S's, obviously. And an old friend of ours is stopping by.
Yes.
She is in the Acme Lounge as we speak. Alexis, Texas.
Awesome.
Is popping in, so we'll chat with her in a moment. Stay with us, please.
So you're slowly dying throughout the week.
Can't wait till Thursday. I'm so thirsty.
I'm so thirsty. What day is it?
This is only Tuesday.
God damn.
Oh, I'm never going to make it.
I can't wait for 4 almonds Friday. You just eat 4 almonds on Friday?
4 almond Friday.
Yeah, I'm an actress. We wed. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I queefed and dust came out. It looks like when you blow on one of those candy cigarettes.
The powdered sugar.
We dry.
We dry. All right, so this is a little bit offbeat, but the Tower of London, we visited that when we went to England a couple of years ago. The Tower of London's Queen Raven is missing and feared dead, according to the staff at the fortress. So apparently they keep this flock of ravens there. And I remember being there and they're huge. They're these big black birds. I remember seeing them.
Yeah.
I just thought they were... That's why they just kind of, flew in and hung out. But apparently they have a...
They cultivate them.
Yeah, they I was going to say they grow them there.
They grow them there.
But they...
Do you have any of those crow seeds?
The tower usually has 6 ravens at any time, and according to legend, if they ever leave, then both the fortress and the kingdom will fall.
Yes.
There are currently 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah!
There are 7 in residence. A spokesman said Marlena's continued absence indicates to us that she may have sadly passed away. So that's Marlena. She is the queen.
It is a matter of great distress for us as Marlena has gone missing. As you know, the legend of the kingdom will fall if we do not have 7 crows on Preston at all times. So it is now that I must inform the matters spreads. Thank you.
So disgusting.
We need a different spokesperson.
Who hired him?
Yeah, time to retire, bro.
It's always some guy with big mutton chops.
Can we get a young guy?
I'm 27. Taking care of these birds will age you.
He added, Marlena was our undisputed ruler of the roost, queen of the Tower Ravens. She will be greatly missed by her fellow ravens, the Raven Master, and all of us here in the Tower community.
But if you know Marlena, you know that's so Raven.
I believe the people that work at the tower, I think they volunteer. I think they, I want to say I remember reading that. It was great. I really enjoyed going
I'm a complete
there.
Anglophile when it comes to this stuff. The royal family, the tower, even watching The Crown is so much fun. Listen, some people don't get it. I love it.
It's a dated concept, but it's pretty cool.
There's nothing wrong with that and embracing that and keeping that going.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're touristy spots in London that you'd think maybe are a little cheesy or whatever. This was not. I really enjoyed that tour, and I'd go back. And the Crown Jewels are there. It was really cool.
By the way, if you do want to see the Crown Jewels, my only one-time visit there, my recommendation we got as soon as it opened, and it was the first place we went, and there was nobody there. And apparently the line...
You're putting on the crown.
We looked at out in front of where the Crown Jewels are, is one of those back and forth switchback wait line things, and you could just by walking through that, we're like, okay, this could take forever on a busy day, but we got right in. It was very impressive, so I thought that was pretty cool. The Raven Master Christopher Scaife said that he would be taking some time to mourn Merlina. Tower staff added that they had no immediate plans to replace her. And Charles is believed to have been the first monarch to officially decree that the birds must be kept at the tower at all times. So one of them's gone. And, apparently when numbers fell to just a single Raven Guard, Winston Churchill had ordered that the flock, which is known as an unkindness, that's a flock of ravens.
An unkindness.
Yes, was increased to at least 6.
We want to grease the flock.
Yes, in 2018, the tower launched...
Get the flock out of here.
A raven breeding program.
Quoting Lethal Weapon 2.
After his story.
Of course.
Yes. What did the shepherd say to the other shepherd?
Winston Churchill was a visionary.
Was it? I was in the first one, Winston. I'm sorry. I will have to throw that at you. But anyhow, it was becoming increasingly difficult to source the birds. So, all right. And that's all I have time for, I guess, in my thing that I just did. What was it? The junk drawer.
Whatever that was.
And that wraps up tonight's thing that I just said. I'm Tom Brokaw.
It's called the news.
We were talking about checking our mental health earlier.
Yes.
If you've been feeling stressed out, you may want to scream, and you should, as it could help you feel better.
So we had the discussion about primal scream therapy and the song Shout by Tears for Fears. And the jury's still out as to whether or not that was actually a song about primal scream therapy, but it used to be all the rage for a while.
Yes. Avi Klein, a psychotherapist, says, I think every emotion...
You should do it!
we feel... A little reverb on that, please, when if you're going to...
You should do it! It's so therapeutic!
He says, I think every emotion that we feel has a kind of correlating action that goes along with it. It feels really good or even healthy to discharge that emotion. John Norcross is a professor of psychology at the University of Scranton and says that no matter how you vent your feelings out,
Mother, I have a strange discharge.
It's a good way to relieve tension. Can you hit that again, please?
Mother, I have a strange discharge.
Okay. Klein notes that simply screaming won't face your issues.
We can't play the whole one. Can we? I don't know if times have changed.
And you'll still have to face whatever it is that's bothering you and work through it even after taking the edge off.
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?
Jesus.
I have a strange discharge.
I'm just clipping the...
Well, yeah, the rest of it tells where the discharge came
from.
And that's when Bill gets a little nervous.
It's actually worse this way.
Is it?
I think, but by his reckoning, it would probably be better.
Well, maybe he got let out of the Army, and it was strange, and he got a strange discharge, and he wasn't...
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute? I have a strange discharge.
I'm sorry, I was trying to read a book here, but yeah, please tell me about your drippy weenie.
Yes.
Can I finish my steak first?
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute? I have a strange discharge.
Wait. I nailed it so much better. I'll have to edit that down.
I want to hear discharge.
All right.
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute? I have a strange discharge.
There we go. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
And then...
Mother, I have a strange discharge.
What would a normal one be? What would a non-strange discharge be? You know?
Yeah. I have froyo coming out my ass. That's pretty strange, but probably more acceptable.
Casey, there was something you wanted to show us?
Well, I have a couple of things. I have another audio thing, something I had told you about off the air, and then I got this thing that I learned about yesterday. So I want everybody to take your iPhones out real quick and pull up an iTunes.
Now take your tops off.
Pull up an iTunes?
Pull up your iTunes. Pick out any song on your iTunes. I don't care which song it is.
I haven't used iTunes.
I had to
in a
delete
while.
my iTunes.
No.
Really? Why?
Storage concerns on my phone. I moved it all. Well, We don't need to hear about it on air.
Gotcha.
It's a porn thing.
Yeah, I have way too much porn on my phone.
Pull up anything you're saying?
Anything, and also take your headphones off real quick. Well, just in a second, you're gonna have to take your headphones off.
Okay. Does it matter what song I choose?
No, it does not matter.
Song?
Whatever song you want to hear.
Well, now I got to go through and find a song I want to hear.
Took the first one that came up.
All right, I got one.
All right, you got one? All right, so take your headphones off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, now press play on your iTunes and stick the speaker part of your iPhone in your mouth like this.
Okay.
And close your lips over it.
What the hell is going on?
Seriously.
And we're all doing this at the same time?
All do it at the same time. Everybody press play. All right, all the way. No. All right, now cover your ears, both your ears.
I refuse to do this.
Well, you can't hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like bone phones, earphones.
Kathy, why are you not doing it?
It won't fit in my mouth.
Yes, it will. Oh my God, yes, it will.
Say that again, real. Say that again.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. You can hear it a little bit more. I could hear it even without putting my hands over my ears.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what is if you're driving? Is there a way to listen to it without having the phone in your mouth?
Right. It's like bone induction.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Bone induction speakers.
We have a couple of the earphones my wife uses when she swims.
Yeah. Well,
She
how much
loves
did
them.
those cost? This is for
This,
free,
You just
bro.
stick
You
her
just shove
phone
the
in her
phone
mouth
in your mouth
and look
and
like
plug
an
up your
imbecile.
ears.
You know what? You know how you have that keep warm function on your oven?
Yeah.
Try putting the dinner rolls in your ass.
Kathy, why did you not do it?
As this was all going on, I just hear, because we had to take our headphones off, I just hear Steve go, I refuse to do this.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing along, bro.
Well, I couldn't get my Asia song to play, which would have been so cool.
I did do it, Casey.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Put it in your mouth?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
I did.
You didn't
Preston.
do it.
All right,
No.
here's
I
the
just
thing.
did it.
Try this when you get home, Kathy.
Okay.
Draw a nice bath. Get in it.
Yeah.
Take your electric hair dryer. Dip it in the water. You'll be able to hear Prince.
While it's plugged
Yeah.
in.
The speakers have gotten much better on these phones. My son was listening to, he was watching a YouTube video or something like that, and he was in the other room, and I was almost like, turn that damn music down.
I'm trying to listen to my story on my Stephen King story.
But it's gotten, you remember the old phones, like if you, for some reason, didn't have a Bluetooth speaker or something to hook it into, and you tried valiantly, yes, exactly, to listen to something through it, it was terrible. It's gotten much better. They're definitely a lot louder.
I'm listening to Pearl Jam. Listen.
It won't fit in my mouth.
Yes, it will. Oh my God, yes, it will.
It won't fit in my mouth.
Presley Gerber, the son of supermodel Cindy Crawford, took to Instagram Live in order to clear up his reasons for getting a tattoo on his cheek.
All right, hey guys. I want to let you know I wrote it a word on my face.
Which he has received backlash for. And I've not seen it. I've just read this story. That's it. And the only thing I have is a quote from him that says, "If I thought it was going to ruin my face, I wouldn't have done it."
Really?
Well, that's how stupid he is. He what is the word that it's one word and it's
It's what, the word on his face?
yeah, do you remember?
Misunderstood.
Misunderstood, right. So it's under his eye high up on his cheek. It's a thin line, but it's still stupid. He's a male model, as is his sister, Kaya Gerber. And I don't know why you would do that.
You're a model.
Yeah.
And you've just
ruined your career.
Ruined exactly your product. Oh my God.
Now he has tattoos.
He's got
but
a lot of tattoos.
He has
yeah.
no tattoos on his face.
He's got some on his neck.
Yeah.
All over his hands.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Okay.
Did you see Amber Rose? Amber Rose has a tattoo along the top part of her, highest part of her forehead.
Her hairline?
Yeah. So
Okay.
her head's always shaved, and it's sort of calligraphy. It looks lovely. But what are you going to do with that? I couldn't even read what it said, but it's big.
Okay.
I'm sort of coming around on face tattoos.
You gonna get one?
Now. I wouldn't want any of my children to. Listen, if you're, I met these guys at the tattoo convention, right?
They were the coolest guys. They were smoking cigarettes.
they were smoking cigarettes,
and they were wearing leather.
I was like, wow, man, can you blow smoke rings? One guy, and they listen to the show. Their guy's name is Dave.
Yeah.
He's got a
He's got a D that's kind of like tattooed into his beard line.
For Dave?
For Dave. And
I could see why you're coming around.
Listen, he and his buddy, they both lay concrete. They're both just big.
They
are like concrete. It's not that they actually like concrete.
I said lay.
They both
They're
like
fans of concrete,
I thought he
and
did.
various gravel.
What did he say?
Lay concrete.
I thought you said like.
I did
thought
too.
they both
I was
like
wondering-
concrete.
I'm a huge fan of cement.
Big fans of concrete.
They're big fans
Just
of
love it. No, no.
metamorphic and sedimentary and So
what does that have to do with it anyway?
Because listen, they lay concrete for a living. What the hell does it matter if they, they face tattoos or whatever? They're not your lawyer, They're not a judge on the bench or where, somebody that you would not want to have face tattoos.
If someone wants to do it, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
In this case, we're questioning a male model whose livelihood depends on his looks getting a word tattooed on his face that will always have to be attended to whenever he does something.
Sure, but he already has tattoos on his neck as well. I mean, so clearly it's not that big of a deal.
Here's an argument for you for why it's a bad idea, okay?
Yeah.
So in human interaction, and when you start to meet someone for the first time, whatever the scenario may be, you engage in eye contact and facial reading.
WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. Our next guest returning to Philadelphia and the Preston and Steve Show studios. It's been a little while since we've seen her, but she is a star in the world of adult entertainment and will be performing at Club Risque Philly tonight, Club Risque Bristol tomorrow. Please give some love to Alexis, Texas.
Hello. I love the welcome.
It is wonderful to see you again. Welcome back to Philadelphia.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. It's been quite a while.
It's been years.
Feels like yesterday.
Yeah. No, it's cool to have you back. I'm trying to figure how many years ago
Man,
was it?
6 or 7 at
Certainly
least.
You're out to
COVID, you
date
had all
us
that.
all right now.
Yeah.
Wow,
It was well before COVID.
Well before COVID. Yeah.
I remember that probably one of the last times we saw you, Alexis, we did an appearance at Club Risque in Bristol, and we were having a ladies' night party, and we brought a bus full of women with us. And we did an amateur dance-off contest, and the girls were up on stage, and a girl was trying to twerk, and you were one of our judges, and you go, hang on a minute. Let me show you how to do this. And got up on stage and performed a world-class twerk for us.
I love that I could, world-class twerking is always a necessity at Club Risque. So, I had to show her how to do it right. You can't just, move your booty back and forth. You got to really make it twerk.
You got to slam it.
There's an art form to it.
There's no way in my life ever would I be able to do that. I don't think physically I
I'll
could
give
do
you
it.
lessons.
Oh, you'll give me lessons? We had an event not too long ago where we had, it was a Hawaiian themed event, and we had these professional dancers come out, and the gals were doing the hula stuff. And I to see women that can you move your hips like that? Can you do like
my hips don't
belly
lie
dancing?
like Shakira says.
You can do that?
I can't do belly dancing, but I definitely can move my hips. I mean, if you've seen any of my shows, past, present, or future, and you definitely know that I can move my hips. But that's definitely a true art form of doing it. It's definitely hypnotizing to watch. You get lost in that.
Let me ask you, because with that, and we were talking about, we had a skipping competition here, or I injured myself. Preston was jogging and injured himself. He's got the thing on his knee, and but I mean, with the dancing and all of that performing, and then just even in the films, with all the bizarre positions and stuff, have you ever pulled something or really gotten hurt or an injury that stuck with you for a while after?
Dancing before this is why I have to stretch before I dance, because I'm definitely kind of an all-around performer. So I'm doing the splits, I'm shaking the booty, I'm doing all the things. And I definitely was in Puerto Rico one time. I was doing a dance and I twirled around the pole and I did the splits, and it definitely hurt my leg.
Yeah.
No, not my hoo-ha.
Not your leg.
It was I tore hamstring.
Really? On stage?
So it was, I mean, I'm a performer, so I had to finish the show. But as soon as I got off the stage, I was like, definitely felt that. So that stayed with me for a little while longer. So I had to definitely stretch and just kind of prepare differently after that moving forward.
Have you ever seen someone get injured in porn, like while doing scenes?
I have not seen it, but I was with somebody who did hurt it on set. And he blacked out because it was like an in and out situation, and the in didn't go where it was supposed to go in, and then he popped something and
fractured penis.
Yeah,
that happened to my friend. My friend had it happen, and it was he described it, and he was an auto mechanic, and he had things fall on his head, and he said there was nothing could compare. That was as horrifying a pain as he ever had.
Yeah, they said it was a blackout pain for sure. He's like, I didn't really know anything, and then I just woke up on the floor.
Yeah.
Listen, so since we haven't seen you in a few years, some stuff has surfaced in the industry, and I was curious where like back then, let's say 7-8 years or whatever, versus now, how things may have changed. I mean, there are things like OnlyFans that surfaced and really took off since then. What's been some of the latest in the adult film and entertainment industry that's changed?
I think it's a lot. I think now we're in a different time frame of, a lot of things coming out from Me Too movements and, more protocols of more being safety for the talent on set and just more kind of safer environments. Not that it wasn't safe before, I think, but it just more talked about scenarios more in depth so people don't feel uncomfortable or doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing in the first place.
Do you have things like intimacy? I mean, I understand this may seem kind of weird, but intimacy coordinators on a set, is that?
So it's not necessarily that. I mean, it's a fun word for it, but I think it's more. I call it more now. It's like a talent liaison type of role, where it's like they kind of discuss with the performers what they're going to be doing, what they feel comfortable doing. If they're in that, so it's like the middle person to speak to if something gets uncomfortable, because before those things were talked about, but maybe they didn't get exposure or talked about in lengths that it maybe should have before. So I think it's just a lot of more strategic things in place so everybody's just feeling comfortable and doing their job and just having fun doing it.
It's funny because I remember when all this the Me Too and all that stuff was coming out, and they were Hollywood put a heightened awareness on all this. And I remember reading an article where the one industry executive said we're kind of taking our lead from the adult film industry, which is kind of wild.
Yeah. And it's funny because there is a lot of parallels, and I think a lot of those things could be taken care of with just communicating. And I think that sometimes because the industry is such a great area for some people to speak about and how you talk about things, I think that people kind of stray away from just the hard conversations where it's like, we're all adults. I feel like hard conversations are needed to learn and grow and kind of get to a space where it should be good for everybody.
Have you ever had to have them stop on set, like you were uncomfortable or something, or it was too much?
Me personally, I never really had an encounter happen to me where I needed to do that. Earlier on in my career, I did, but it was one of those things that I stopped immediately, not knowing what that really meant, because you can't really say cut because you're not the director, you know what I mean? Right. But just standing up and kind of just walking off because I was uncomfortable, and then it was corrected, and then we went about the scene, but not necessarily where I felt in those counters where something happened that I felt violated or unsafe in those work areas.
Right. We were talking about like scams and being extorted earlier on the show this morning, and how some people can use like an email scam and say, I caught you watching porn or whatever. That ever happened to you, like some type of extortion scam where they've used you or your name or you directly?
So recently, I had an email that came. I had 2 emails saying the sensitivity of, we had some tracking kind of thing, and we see on your phone what website you're going to, so we're going to send it to your whole call log unless you go to this QR code and pay. And I'm like, go ahead. I mean, if they don't know by this point what's going on with Alexis, Texas, then by all means, go ahead. I will not be sending you money.
That's hilarious.
By the way, you send them like a DP video. Here, take a look at that.
And then the second one was, I know that I have a tracker saying that I know you're reading this at this moment, and that if you don't send it in 72 hours, then I'm going to be whatever. And I'm like, go ahead.
Man,
I dare you.
You missed the mark with that.
You clearly don't know who you're speaking to.
Let me ask you, because we joke about with Kathy and about OnlyFans and just doing like a foot thing and so on and so forth. How lucrative is OnlyFans? Because I was reading another article where someone was saying in the industry, it's really been a seismic shift and it's given a lot of ownership to. I've not gone on OnlyFans.
Are you sure?
I'm sure, yeah. but first when it came out, it was kind of like OnlyFans, like literally like comedians or whatever. It was almost like a Patreon sort of thing. It since has gotten a different sort of reputation. But how lucrative can it be? And I've heard that to really make the money, you've got to be half putting out content and half interacting with your client base. Is that correct?
It is correct. I think, platforms like OnlyFans and OnlyFans itself definitely is a game changer. It changed how the industry is in its whole. I think it's definitely gotten a bad rap at certain times of if it's just adult or whatever, but it's definitely a platform still to this day that's used by people who are chefs or comedians and I think the great thing about these types of platforms that it gives each content creator its own lane to do what you want to do with it, and how your extent of how you deal with it and what kind of content you're producing is up to you. No, there's no right, wrong, or anything, but it is very lucrative. It definitely takes and eliminates the third party of the company taking away from you, and also it gives you ownership of your own content. And for so long, we're doing all these scenes and stuff, but we didn't own anything. All these companies are making more money off of us than we ever really did, even doing the scene.
Right.
So I think it gave a switch of kind of giving the performer the power back and kind of giving us a more spot financially to give us to do things that we wanted to do.
Are you active on OnlyFans?
I am active on OnlyFans.
Do you do wish lists and things like that where people can send you stuff? Or?
I don't do wish list things, but I do interact with my fans. We talk in the DMs. You can do custom videos. You can kind of personalize it to what your fans are catered to. So the only content you can see of me, because I haven't really been active in the industry, is only on my OnlyFans.
All right. So, and do you do that? Is that solely yourself running that, or is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it is, and that's the thing is a lot of people think because everyone's speaking about these big, large sums of money, which it is there, but it is a lot of work. It's not something that's just like a quick paycheck. It's like I have to dedicate 3 to 4 days a week to really do content and deliver on, to the fans what they want.
Yeah.
And
It's got to be interesting, though, because you can post certain things on Instagram. You can post whatever you want on OnlyFans. You can post a lot on Twitter. So you probably have to weigh where you're going to put certain content, but then you could use Instagram to promote something that you have on OnlyFans, right?
For sure. And that's kind of like the algorithm of each social media criteria is a little different. And sometimes on Instagram, just because my name alone, it's gets flagged or things. That's why my Instagram name is White Girl Politicking. And so it's not Alexis, Texas, because that got thrown out a long time ago.
Wow.
But yeah, I think that, it's just with any business. Marketing is a great strategy for anything. And I think that it gives us access to free advertising for our own platform. So it's like how you draw in your audience. So with Twitter, it's a little bit more racier because you can put more videos or clips and things. And so it's right there. So it's like you can either do a teaser or a clip. And Instagram, it's like, hey, go follow me on my spicy page, or like things like, people who are fans throughout the time or throughout your career know where to go. You know what I mean? So it's like you can just talk about it and be like, you know where to find me.
Yes,
those things.
Yeah, you've got almost 6 million followers on Instagram. We're looking at it right now. Where did you get White Girl Politicking from? That's a unique
It's a Big Sean song,
Oh, is it?
It's lyrics in the song, but it was more to be like catchy because
you're hip hop and R&B, right? That's your okay.
Yes,
That's your jam.
That's your jam. I wanted to ask you. So, are you producing this stuff mostly from a studio at home, or you control everything, right?
Yes. It depends. Even with shooting scenes back in the day, it's not necessarily at one particular thing. You can do it anywhere, but
Whatever
most times it's because of it's so interpersonal. You could do it at your home, you can do it at a hotel, you could do whatever, and
anywhere
I
you
think
can.
Even doing is selfies. People want to see like your what you're doing your day to day, like something like this. I can post and maybe like, hey, I'm in studio, I'm at a radio station today, and like just the day in the life of those things too. Really, people like to be a part of it.
Do you ever feel like overly chained to it? You know what I'm saying? I know you work hard, and you've always been known to be super fan friendly, and that that's your big thing is that you're great to your fan base. But I mean, are those, because sometimes I see people, you'll see like they're on constantly. I'm like, when are you living?
For me, I think I have a really good balance of work life and, and home life.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm not one of those people who are taking video of my food and every second minute of my day, which, there's a lane for that, but that's just not mine.
Right.
So for me, there is privacy in my everyday. So it's like I give people what I want to give them. And I feel like because I've been in the adult industry and I've given so much of myself that I feel like I have to have some privacy to my own self too. But I'm definitely, because of all those, I'm grateful for the fans that I have. So I do a good job of giving them the little parts of my, life.
Sure.
All right, I'm sure you get tons of requests for, like the private videos and things like that, the exclusive stuff that you can do. Do you ever get some that are like, well, I don't want to know why this is getting you off, but okay, yeah. I mean, that's not necessarily, quote unquote, dirty or something like that. Where you're like, okay, sure, I'll
clip my toenails.
Yeah, I'll clip my toenails, or whatever.
There's a lot of crazy requests. It's sometimes laughable, sometimes, you turn your head a little bit like, oh, why?
Something's wrong.
But, I think the most unique one I get a lot too, it's like this whole giant S thing. So it's like they want you to like put the phone and like act like I'm a giant and they're a small person. And so I'm standing over the phone.
I've not seen this.
This is on TikTok. This is as well. You'll see like this is a bizarre thing where people want to feel very small looking at a giant.
Like it's basically like me like stepping on them or like suffocating them, but I'm like a big giant S because it looks very small. So if I put my phone on the floor right now and I'm like hovering over the phone, it's like
Gulliver, and
what is it, Jolly Green Giant?
Yeah.
Like,
Alexis, will you purposely lower your voice like this?
Not yet, but I'll try that. Maybe that'll really get him going.
By the way,
you got to do that.
Actually, you should get Preston to dub an audio.
I like this. We're onto something.
Oh my God,
that's hilarious. I didn't know what that was about, but that's what that is.
Yeah, so it's about I think the feeling of. I mean, I could be wrong. It's not my fetish. But it's a feeling small.
Yeah.
And being like overpowered by something big. Everything's bigger in Texas. So I mean, maybe that's why they come to Miss Texas to deliver these things. But I'm not really.
I just have a vision of you going.
I don't know.
I know. By the way, I did
each his own.
I did have a question about your name, Alexis, Texas. I don't know if we've asked you this over the years or not, but are you indeed from Texas, or did you just choose that because it rhymes with Alexis? Or?
I am from Texas.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
You were born in Panama, though?
I was born in Panama. I'm a military brat. So Texas is everything I've known. So from 3 to 21 I was brought up in Texas.
Okay.
In the San Antonio area. So a small town outside San Antonio.
And you're an LA gal now for a while, I would imagine, right?
17
Is that
years.
still kind of the hub? And even though you're not doing adult films, is that still kind of the hub of the industry?
There's a few others like Vegas, Miami, but LA definitely will always be the heart of where it all resides.
It seems like percentage-wise, Preston, and we've talked to people and David Tell is a big fan of like old porn and all that stuff, and he would have these shows, and there's a nostalgia. In fact, I think you were interviewing Lisa Ann, and she was talking about the way the industry used to be, almost in like the good old days kind of way, and that this has sort of this change, which has given a lot of good for you, control, and you're controlling your destiny, but it's also kind of taken a lot of what people in the industry might have enjoyed about the industry away. Would you agree with that?
I do. There's some truth to that. I think that it's just a different way of doing stuff. I'm sure even with you guys, things have changed with radio over time, and like you either choose to fall in line or you don't do it anymore. So I think it's you getting. For me, it's enjoying still the good parts of what the old school feeling of those things were to me. So it's even having conversations on my podcast, like with Lisa and other stars like Scott Nails and stuff, and kind of just reminiscing in those nostalgias of like what it is. But yeah, I think the overall, I wouldn't say camaraderie, but like what it used to be just isn't that big and glorious anymore. I mean, I think everybody has their own, because everyone's a content creator. Everyone's a thing. So I feel like the luster of like stars and like that power isn't really what it was at one time. I think it's harder for girls to come in now and make a big name and actually own the name porn star.
It's funny.
Yeah,
it's funny. Yeah, right.
Star. Yeah.
You don't hear that anymore. In fact, you don't. We were talking about this the other day. In just general stars, like somebody was. The question came up: Who's the Tom Cruise of today? And the answer is Tom Cruise. There hasn't been a lot of cycling in. There used to be a whole roster of people you could reel off and go.
Yeah, I think it's like from every 20 girls that would come in every year, like one or two would stick out and like kind of stay within the group and then kind of like, outshine. Now it's more of, the viralness and the TikToks and the reels and the collaborations that I feel like people are more into, and that's what kind of gets them more of a buzz and like traction and traffic to their sites to like get them more popular. Where to me, it's like I was Alexis, Texas. I did these movies.
You were already
and
there.
It was like a thing. So the cross promotion was kind of synergetic for me in that sense.
Yeah.
Alexis is going to be at Club Risque tonight in Philly, 10 and midnight. There are shows, and then tomorrow night in Bristol, 10 and midnight. Did you start off in clubs dancing? Is that where you began, or no?
I did not. I was a bartender in San Marcos, Texas. And I didn't start dancing until I became Alexis Texas already. And then I'm a showman of sorts. I always say I'm like a singer who can't sing, but I can dance and do all the things. But I just put on a good show and a performance. So I've always been like audience attention. And
did someone approach you with the idea of doing?
I think that I got approached by when the girls that were doing the Deviant tour for Club Risque back in the day. I replaced somebody from that tour because they, I believe, got pregnant. And so I kind of filled in for her. And then it kind of took off of that whole tour was just different for me. And then I started doing my own stuff after that as well.
Okay.
Wow.
It's wild. You've done some, and I didn't realize because a junk food movie, Bloodlust Zombies. You're in that.
I am in that.
You're the star. Yeah.
They use my name. I don't necessarily went as a star, but I didn't die in the movie. So that's always good when they want to do a movie.
Do you like doing? Do you like doing the? Because they would call that, and that's to me that's a genre film. That's a fun film.
Movie.
Yeah, a B movie. Is that stuff that you enjoy, or is it a pain in the ass?
When I never had any ambitions to do that kind of stuff. When I got asked to do that, I had a lot of fun with it. And I learned from a lot of people that were in theater and things like that. And so different techniques. And so it was really fascinating. And I would do more. I enjoyed it a lot.
Steve, I saw a clip from Samurai Cop the other day, and like these 80s and 90s like B movies that end up cult classics, like The Room, which made the James Franco made The Disaster Artist. And when I was in college, there was this porn called Laying the Ghost. And yes,
see what you're into.
What a clever title.
I know. And guess what it was about?
What?
Having sex with a ghost.
Oh my God,
that's weird.
But it was so damn funny, and certainly there were sexy, funny parts to it. But for me and my friends, it just was hilarious, right? So it became this running joke. Are there any like cult porn movies that you've been a part of that people just laugh at as well as enjoy sexually?
I feel like when they had the whole parody bits of things,
that was huge.
I think I played the Joker's girlfriend, and so I had this like crazy like hairstyle thing, whatever. So it was like very like the 60s or 70s like style, whatever. So that like people always bring that up because it's kind of that part. But other than that, I didn't do a lot of like skit type of things.
I was reading you did a Frasier parody.
Oh yeah, I did that too. Oh, that was a horrible wig. They made me Elaine, and this had this horrible black curly wig. It was atrocious.
Yeah,
I don't really know why I got casted for that.
But how long? All right, so how long does it take to film a scene? Like, let's say what the finished product is a half an hour. Okay, how long does that actually take to make?
I mean, it's start to finish. So typically back in the day, if you were going to a studio, the girl would arrive and do makeup from like say 9 to 10:30. Then she would go and do pretty girls, what they call. So they would do like a photo set and kind of do a whole tease on like thing.
Okay.
So that's probably another hour. And then when you're actually doing the deed of things, it can go from an hour and a half, depending on your performer, if they're good at their job, if they ready to work or they're not. But yeah, so it really depends. And it also depends on the chemistry of who you're working with that day or what actual studio you're working for too. Because some people need more content, some people need more pictures, some people need this and that. But it could be probably the actual intercourse part of it is probably like an hour and a half.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that's something that's you can only do so much. You talk about the classic thing is on-set romances. Does that occur in the world of adult films where
I mean, it does. I feel like I used to always say I had a porno boyfriend because you saw him quite often, but you don't have to deal with any of the drama, so that's always great. But I also married and divorced a performer, so that was that too. So,
okay.
What's your status now? Are you single or are you seeing somebody?
I am single.
Okay.
I am single, yes.
All right. And when you're at Club Risque, I said 10 p.m. and midnight, so you're coming out and dancing. Do you meet with your fans as well while you're there?
I do. After every show, I do a meet and greet, do the whole nine.
Excellent.
Great.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, it is great to see you again.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. Continued success, and come and see Alexis tonight in Philadelphia at Club Risque, 10 and midnight. There's a show there. And then the Bristol location is tomorrow night, 10 and midnight as well. And again, your Instagram is White Chick Politic.
White Girl Politic.
White Girl Politic.
And,
all right.
and Preston.
Litting.
Yes. Yes.
Just want to remind people, anybody going to a game tonight or a concert tonight, if you bring your ticket to the door, you get discounted. Is it discounted admission? It's free.
Free.
Okay,
Free.
You're at the game
We like
tonight?
free.
Yeah.
And there's a podcast as well, Private Talk with Alexis, Texas.
That is my podcast. Love it.
You'll be
We're
able to find
just
that.
wrapped season 5, about to do season 6. So
Nice.
Well, good luck with everything. Thanks for coming by.
thank you for having me.
You got it. Alexis, Texas. On the Preston and Steve Show. We'll take a break, come back with the A to Z B-file as well. Stay there. And things like that.
Yeah.
If you have stuff written or placed on your face, it's a distraction from that. And
Okay.
I think it's a lack of being able to communicate effectively.
But what about like a giant mole on somebody's face? You gonna tell them to get that removed because it's distracting?
If possible, yes.
Yes.
Very distracting when
Yes.
we talk to you.
Yes.
Can you get that removed?
I have a Facebook page.
and take your
called-
friend with the face tattoo.
You don't like
There's a
concrete,
great
Kathy.
line from Uncle Buck where he goes, why don't you go down to the sump dump and have the rat gnaw that thing off your face? A woman's got a big mole on her face.
Mole.
So here we are, Valentine's Day. You can feel the love in the air. Hopefully you have someone in your life today. If not, that's okay too.
Yes.
But we love you. Remember that.
Yes.
Just not in that way.
No, but we can
We
for
can.
the right amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? We had a nice discussion last week about first kisses and how well we remember them and how important they are in your life.
Yeah.
And
You had a great one?
yeah, I had a wonderful.
I had a great one.
Yeah. And now, some people don't have great first
No.
kisses. In fact, some of them can be disastrous.
I would say whoever kissed Harvey Weinstein.
Probably
dear
a
God.
disastrous
A disaster.
first kiss. Yeah.
And I said mine. I was really, really nervous. And then after I did it, I was like, what the hell was I so nervous about? That was not a big deal.
Yeah.
It does happen, but and maybe that's part of the reason why some people wait so long to have their first kiss: the nervousness or the fear that it's going to go bad, or I don't know. So we started talking about it, and we got responses from people, from adults who have never kissed anyone in their lives. And we said, you know what, we could maybe have a couple people come in, and we can get that first kiss out of the way. Casey, give me some light love music here as we
Five-finger death punch.
that'd be nice, wouldn't it, though? No, there you go. That's perfect. We're going to meet our contestants, find out what they're all about, or who they are and what they're all about. Let's start with a phone call that we received when we initially talked about this on the air. This is Sophie who is here this morning. Hey, Sophie, how you doing?
I'm good.
So you gave us a call, and we had, we were just asking who hadn't ever kissed anybody who happens to be an adult. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 21.
You're 21 years old. All right. And so I assume you've never had a boyfriend then if you've never kissed anybody?
No.
Really? And why do you think that is? Why? Because, you're cute. And
You are.
Yeah.
You're adorable. Yeah.
I probably just kind of thought like, oh, I'll get around to it later. And then in high school, I was like, oh, I'm going to get around to it later. In college, get around to it later. And
Are you a serious student by any chance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very time consuming, and
Yes,
sometimes it gets away from you.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, and I couldn't help but sort of feel like this is by your choice. Because I feel like at any point, at any time, like you could
You're
probably.
pretty. She's pretty. That's why I
yeah.
say it's not like we have some hideous people in the studio. She's very pretty.
Yeah, it's mostly just busy with school. I don't really have time to do anything.
And then Preston had put out the suggestion when we were talking, and initially when we had that whole conversation. For a lot of people, it is exactly that. Life gets in the way, and you don't have time to do that. So, but it's you didn't impress us as someone who was like, oh my God, this is a disaster. It's like when it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
So and it's going to happen.
Yeah. Have you been longing for it though? Have you been curious about it?
Yeah, on and off.
Yeah.
Like I'll go through times and be like, maybe soon, and then I'll be like, nah, I'm busy.
Okay. What about nervousness? Does that play into it at all?
A little bit. Like after partway through high school, you're just kind of like, okay, like.
When you hang with your friends, are your friends in a similar situation, or do they have relationships and boyfriends and whatever, girlfriends?
They do.
Okay, all right.
So, like I knew somebody who was with a girl who she had kissed people, but she wasn't very well versed in other things, right? And that ended up no, all of it, Steve. I mean, hand, oral, all that sort of stuff. But she was a little bit older, and it really it played a part in all of that sort of, because she was second guessing everything, and she was nervous. She wasn't doing it right, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm sure at a certain point for you, you're like, oh man, I'm well behind the curve here. It's like going into a test that you haven't studied for.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I figured, get it out of the way. Gotta do it at some point.
Yeah,
Yes, because that's it. Honestly, a lot of it is what you think it is. It's like flying a plane. You could probably fly most major airliners without much coach, right, Preston?
Right, sure.
There's, you've seen movies.
Yeah.
You know, you pull back on the throttle, and there's a couple of dials there.
You just got to go for it.
Practically flies
You could
itself.
practically fly it. John Travolta told us that, Gabby.
Where do you go to school, by the way, Sophie?
Temple.
You go to Temple. And
Yes.
what are you studying?
Physics.
Oh, you are a very
You're
serious person.
perfect.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
yeah.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you for sharing your story. And then we're going to meet Brandon, everybody. Brandon, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Good. Brandon came dressed for love in his Iron Maiden t-shirt this morning.
Hey, listen, I think it's a perfect match.
Yeah?
What we're about to do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Who he gets to kiss in just a little bit. How old are you, Brandon?
20 years old.
You're 20 years old. And what do you do? Are you a student as well, or are you a worker?
I went to a vocational school.
Okay.
And took up electric. And I started working my 11th grade summer, and then worked all the way through 12th grade, and then worked in an electric company for like 2-3 years.
So you've been busy.
Yeah.
You got into your career, and that's obviously consumed. Because again, you're a nice-looking guy. You're conversive. We were talking before we came on the air. It's not like you're seriously awkward.
Steve, look how adorable he is.
I want to tweak your.
I mean,
cheeks like
look at how
it wouldn't be the first time.
Look at how kind his eyes are. And Kath, look
Casey's
at.
really looking into this.
I know. I'm looking at him, and you look like you're a gentle soul. Have you ever lashed out in anger ever in your entire
Have you
life?
ever killed a kitten?
Have you ever killed a kitten?
I mean, I used to work in construction, so there has been times where you get like
angry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's normal.
Yeah,
but I mean, so you probably channel out your angst through the music you listen to, right?
Exactly.
All right. But I mean, you're. I think in both these cases, both of you just have had very active lives. You've been distracted by that. Do you feel that there's, as Casey described, that you're behind the curve, or do you take Sophie's angle on it that it'll happen when it happens?
Kind of mixture of both.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
All right.
Are you? I asked this, and seriously. So, are you a little embarrassed about the fact that you haven't kissed anybody until?
I'll be honest. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Sophie?
Not really.
No, she doesn't care.
She's a physicist, for Christ's sake.
I know. Well, listen, I totally understand that. I remember at the time when I was younger than you were, but I remember I felt behind the curve because
me
other
too.
people had kissed and I had not done it.
The truth of the matter, Preston, as we discuss this, you're one of many, many people who think they're the only one.
Oh, yeah.
And the truth of the matter is you're not.
No, you're in plenty of company.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my question for both of you guys, because and I'm a little nervous now because I have.
You're gonna have to kiss me.
No, Steve. I have 2 kids in 7th and 8th grade, and it's like almost this rite of passage around that time where you have kissing parties. I mean, essentially, kids design ways and reasons to like practice this stuff on each other, whether it be through spin the bottle or truth or dare or whatever it is. How did all of that time elude both of you guys?
Well, we go one at a time. Sophie,
okay.
go ahead.
I guess I just got really lucky during Truth or Dare. Like
You won every goddamn game.
Yeah,
that's
much.
it. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so adorable.
Yes, you are.
How about you, Brandon?
I've been to a ton of parties, and there's never been any like spin the bottle or any games like that.
Not on the construction sites?
No.
No spin the bottle? No spin the rivet?
You act like everybody played that. I never played those games.
No?
No.
No.
No, to be honest, there were very few of those when I was growing up. Kathy, I'm sure you and I both did the same thing. We went to physics parties.
I didn't fit in there either.
All right. Well, you know what? I think we need to get ourselves prepared for this. We've met them. We found out their stories, and now we got to get them in the proper shape.
Yeah. Training is everything.
Yeah. So
as with anything that you want to be good at, you've got to practice.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna. So they're not going into this completely cold.
No.
We brought in some CPR dummies, which is basically it's a torso with a really weird looking face on it. They're both male. I thought we were going to get a male and female, but I guess we got to do what
we are
do
gender fluid, Preston. It's about time you get woke.
Hold up, Marissa, where are those wigs? We have a wig. wig.
Oh, we have a wig to put on
We
one?
have 2 blonde wigs.
Okay, all right.
So
we
now
can just put one on one. Let's go with Sophie first. All right, Sophie. We have Joe. You can leave your headphones on.
Yeah.
Who's going to hold up the dummy? Wow, this is really setting the mood.
All right,
here.
if
you know what? Can we have some romantic music from Josh and Haley while we're doing this? So I think maybe that'll make you feel a little bit better. All right. So.
All right.
You're going to put.
Can we get a profile on this? By the way, there we go.
There you
Thank
go,
you
Joe.
so much.
Okay, so put your hands up around his neck, Sophie.
Yeah.
And you also have to lean your head one way. So that's perfect. She's leaning it to the right. And all right, a few stories to mention to you this morning. We'll start with this. A woman from Berlin, Germany, Michelle Kobke, who was in a 9-year romantic relationship with a Boeing 737.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Has revealed they've broken up.
Do you know how many people go through life never meeting the right jet?
Yep. And but they do remain friends.
Yeah.
So Michelle, who is 36, affectionately called the plane darling and described it as attractive and elegant.
Now, not to be indelicate, but how much of that plane could she take in?
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
She went wings deep, dude.
Wings deep, man. That is good. You're past business class at that point.
Diagnosed as an objectophile, Michelle said that her relationship with the plane was like anyone else's. She said, we have relaxing evenings together, and when we go to bed, we cuddle up and fall asleep together. She said, while the breakup was amicable, she still fondly recalls the connection and the excitement we felt, particularly when touching its winglets.
Oh.
When I touched his wings, I immediately get sweaty palms and get excited, she said.
I want to bring another jet into the relationship.
Experts say objectophilia affects a small number of people and isn't considered a problem unless it causes distress. Michelle previously spoke of the difficulties of being in a relationship with the plane.
We're still on the tarmac.
She said a relationship with a plane is not easy and at times difficult. I can only get close to him when I fly with him or when I can get to him in the hangar.
If they pull out at the right time, is that still considered?
I don't know.
Intercourse?
I couldn't tell if this is like a toy plane or an actual plane until that last sentence.
Yeah,
I'm like,
then a hangar. It's
okay.
the real deal, yeah. So.
Or maybe she just has access to a hangar for a small toy plane.
All right, here's a story out of England. A jury inquest is to be held into the death of a woman who choked to death after a marshmallow eating competition.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Natalie Buss collapsed and died after taking part.
That's her.
That's terrible. She collapsed and died after taking part in the event. In 2023 at Bedeau Rugby Club.
Well, if you're going to have a marshmallow contest, you have it at a
rugby club. Yeah. A pre-inquest review heard the death had been reported to the health and safety executive, and consequently a jury inquest was required. The circumstances of the evening would be considered along with the medical cause of death. Witnesses would include the entertainer who ran the competition on the night in question and an off-duty nurse who attempted to help Miss Buss. The inquest would not consider the appropriateness of employing the entertainer who the court has heard has stopped using the competition at his events.
There you go.
Yeah. We stopped after someone died.
Made that sound.
Yeah. The Wagoner County Sheriff's Office in Oklahoma arrested a man, Christopher Drake, after he broke into the same house twice in one day.
That's just greedy.
Despite responding to a burglary, or deputies responded to a burglary on September 5th and found Drake on the scene. Security footage showed him stealing multiple items. Later that day, around 1 o'clock, Drake returned and broke in again while the homeowners were present this time. He was arrested and charged with first and second-degree burglary, but was released after posting bond. Wow. Brandon Quigley was arrested in Nashville for aggravated assault following a fight with his grandmother, Deborah Quigley, at her house.
I want to fight you.
Brandon was upset about the family property inheritance and
I want to fight you.
And came to her front door to talk about it. Deborah says,
I don't want to talk to you.
Deborah says when she went out.
Is that her or him?
Yeah.
Onto
Just me.
That's
terrific.
Deborah said when she went out on her patio to talk to him, Brandon started swearing at her and calling her names.
You're a creep.
Did she feel that she might have been an alcoholic?
She said they were very not grandma
You
appropriate.
are a lush, I can tell by looking at you.
They were very not grandma appropriate names. And this led her to slap him. And in response,
I'll break it over your head.
In response, Brandon allegedly punched her in the face with a closed fist, knocking her unconscious. After regaining consciousness, Brandon fled, but Deborah called the police. Brandon was arrested and held on a $30,000 bond. So, by the way, speaking of the Frank Rizzo clips, I saw the clip that preceded that encounter.
That legendary encounter with the CBS News man.
When they were out front of his house and they were in a van and they were waiting to see if he would come by and they were going to interview him. Well, Rizzo saw them out there and he called some police.
Right.
And they came and they confronted them. And then that's when he opened up and they wanted to see what they were doing. And he reached in and he started like breaking their equipment and stuff. And there's video of that
I've never seen that.
Yeah, somebody just sent that to me the other day. I had not seen that before. So it's an interesting little side note.
You're a real crumb bum.
To those clips, yeah. All right, let's see. We'll do one more story and then we will wrap it up. Yes, in Michigan, police arrested a man Tuesday who is believed to have created a bomb hoax, and he did this in order to prevent his car from being repossessed.
Oh, my God.
The sheriff's office was called to a home for reports of a suspicious situation. Once on scene, police found a propane tank was seated in the passenger seat of a vehicle with electrical wire running from the tank to the inside of the middle console. Another tank was found strapped to the front driver's side wheel of the car with copper wiring running underneath the vehicle.
So he wanted to give the impression that the car was wired to explode.
And they would not repossess it from him if they did so. Multiple signs were also posted on the vehicle that indicated that the car will blow up if it was touched. Police closed down the area, and the Michigan State Police Bomb Squad was called in to address the situation.
And he was just using copper wire connected to propane tanks.
The squad eventually determined the entire thing was a hoax, and the tanks were not actually connected to anything that could cause an explosion, and they arrested the 45-year-old suspect in the incident. So,
well, that's one way.
Yep, and that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get the lesson question and trash music news. Not before we play another song from the S category. We're back to school A to Z. So we'll be back in a moment. Nice kiss. Nice, easy kiss.
Aww. She's awesome.
Yes.
How did she do? She did great.
How is Sophie? You're awesome.
Yeah, her approach was perfect. Her head tilt was perfect.
You're adorable. And you know physics.
The pressure that she applied to the dummy was perfect.
The one thing that I saw, duration was too short.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So
it was
if
a
you go in
dummy.
for the kiss, it's not going to be quick. You need to let it
Preston,
linger just a little bit.
It's an eraser she's kissing.
That's true.
The
That's
next
true.
thing that she kisses will be kissing back.
Yeah.
But I do want her to be ready. So one more time, but just a smidge longer, okay? So she's leaning in, hands on. There you go. She's got his hand. That's better.
Yeah.
All right. Well
Is that
done.
better? Is she leaning her head the right way?
She was.
Okay.
And she put her hand on his cheek, too, which is very
tender.
sensual.
Yeah.
This is an unresponsive doll that she's kissing, so obviously it's the head tilt's not there. But bravo, well done.
Well done, well done.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's try Brandon. Brandon, first stick your first two fingers in her mouth.
All right, yeah.
It's
To the side. To the side. Can we get a profile on it? Guys, can we turn profile, please?
All right,
Thank
there you go. All right, hands on her hips, or its hips, and then, okay. He turned his head. He gave that was not bad. A little softer.
What do you want to say to this lifeless piece of plastic?
I love you. All right, so it looks like Brandon's gonna turn his head to the left, which was the opposite of Sophia. So try that one more time, sir. Let's see you do it again. Yeah, same way. However you're comfortable. Okay, he got it done.
Do you like? I think.
I don't know.
Here's what I would say. I think he rushed in towards the head a little too fast. I think your approach needs to be a little slower, a little more gentle. And it's going to be a human the next time around, so it'll be a slightly different approach.
Nick,
she's going to give you a bit of guidance, but just come in a little more slowly in your approach.
Nick, I think I can. So you're leaning in, and she's going to speak to you. Okay, start to lean in as you're going to kiss. All right, and she's going to speak to you.
Wow.
Okay, that was Nell, Jodie Foster, who's very attractive.
I love how you guys are so delicate with Sophie, but not with him.
No, by the way, his first kiss was absolutely fine. Just a little bit more, because I think I hate to say this, and this is probably a dumb thing to say, when you're leading in on the kiss, the onus is on you to just be a little bit more,
tender.
Yeah, I know. Listen,
tender. Because you're genuinely a nice, gentle guy, and I think you can rock a kiss.
And in this social climate that we live in today, it looked like the mannequin didn't want that kiss. You know what I mean?
I was reading it completely. Look at the mannequin's eyes are completely closed, and in fact, they're sealed over with a fleshy layer of skin.
By the way, and also another suggestion as well is eyes closed.
Yes.
It helps. It just helps with the moment.
Yeah, at that moment, just get lost in the kiss.
Hang on. You have to go in with your eyes open, but the second your lips touch the other lips, then you softly close your eyes. Otherwise, you're going to headbutt your partner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't have to get up on the turnbuckle and jump on them.
Yeah.
When you're close enough and you know your lips are going to touch, that's when you can close.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go one more time.
One more time, Brandon, if you wouldn't mind, please.
All right,
Eyes closed, lean in. Nice. Better. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah.
Damn good.
Well done. Okay, and we're getting this wonderful romantic music from Josh and Haley here. Okay, so I think we're set with the practice. We've got that out of the way.
Uh-oh.
Now we
Both
need
our
to...
CPR dummies just secured lawyers, Preston.
Oh, dear Lord. All right, well, now we need to freshen. Now we need to make sure that we're ready.
Right.
So we have a variety of oral products here to make sure that the mouth is fresh.
Yes.
And set and pleasant for everyone.
For the person, and this is good advice for anyone this weekend or today, and in general, when you're with someone, you want to make sure that they know that you cared enough to make sure your breath is fresh.
Yeah. So we're going to start with a little antiseptic generic CVS mouthwash here.
Oh, yeah.
Which is...
Only the good stuff.
Smells lovely. I'm going to give you guys...
it's just as good as Listerine. It's the same ingredients.
It absolutely is.
You're just not paying the same, you know?
So open that up, and we're going to have you gargle. If you can, make the noise when you gargle,
Like
so we want to
Chewbacca.
hear all that. By the way, I was always a Scope guy. I always thought like that minty flavor of Scope.
I wanted basically, and I was for the longest time until for Listerine, you just get the sensation that you're boraxing out your mouth.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like it's better. All right, gargle.
Very good. So, Sophia almost swallowed it when Casey played the Chewbacca bit. All right. Brandon? Gargle, please. You spit in that.
I started laughing when I heard Chewbacca.
Did you swallow it?
No, I spit it out.
All right. All right, and do you think they need breath mints, or is that good?
Would you guys like a breath mint, or you're fine? I think if you're good, you're good.
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
Are we ready for the?
I think we're ready. Yes, and you know what?
By the way, webcam's on, so if you're listening in at home, you can watch this too.
Oh, we got this romantic music. It's fantastic. I'm loving it. Okay, so the first one of these two that's going to get their kiss is going to be Sophia. So we're going to bring in our first professional kisser this morning. He's a very good friend of the Preston and Steve show. He's a good-looking guy.
He is a very good-looking guy.
He's had many kisses in his time. Our good friend Kyle McCarty is here with us this morning.
Handsome.
So, Brandon, we're going to have you step away from the microphone a little bit, and we're going to have Kyle step up. And Kyle's a professional singer. He's an amazing videographer and editor as well, and also does a fantastic podcast. What's the name of that show, by the way?
The podcast is called the Tri-Jam Podcast.
And he's a great host and he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Beautiful eyes.
He's got gorgeous eyes.
Thank you so much.
Well groomed, his head shaved.
And
I approve of that.
And he's the guy, just to remind you, I know you probably already know this, but he gave us Kathy's fall activities. He does the jingles. He does the Delco jingle, has sung with the Temptations.
I have.
Yeah, he's amazing. So you're getting a really quality guy here,
Nice.
Sophia.
Okay.
He's building this up a lot.
I want to. So, do you remember your first kiss?
I do.
And was it a pleasant experience, a memorable experience?
Yes, it's actually, I don't know, it's kind of a hefty story. I got to bridge it if you actually want to hear it.
Sure.
I was actually 19 years old, so kind of a little late bloomer from myself.
Sophie, and listen to this. So here's a guy, again, like as with you, a very good-looking guy, but 19 years old. Okay.
I kind of grew into myself as I progressed through my teenage years.
She had a lot of hanging foreskin and stuff.
Yes, yes.
Grew into it.
Yeah, kind of snipped that off and got it.
Okay.
So I had actually met someone online. I was living in New Jersey at the time, and she lived in Washington State.
Wow.
Whoa.
So I wanted to go meet her. I wanted to go. We've been talking for months. So I'm an artist too. I drew a couple of cartoons, sold it to my cousin's auto decal company. So he was making like decals, and he paid me enough money so I could buy a plane ticket. And I went out to Washington State, and that's where I met her. And I had my first kiss.
So there was a connection.
Yeah.
There was something that said, I need to go see. And,
yes.
And did that blossom into a relationship? Was it or was it just a kiss? And
it blossomed into a very short, week-long relationship. And,
okay.
Yeah, she kind of cheated on me the day after I left Washington State.
Well, let me ask you this: was at least the initial kiss well worth the trip?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all you want.
She put a pillow over my face. I didn't even see it.
There you go. Yeah.
All right.
It was nice.
Well, listen, part of the leading up to this is the anticipation. And certainly we've teased you with enough of that. We've been doing 30 minutes about talking, about kissing, and now it's time to actually kiss.
Let's get to kissing.
So, did you hear us talking about the type of kiss we want to go for in this first run?
Yes, a little bit.
A screen kiss, a tender lip kiss.
A tender lip kiss.
And then we'll see how that goes, and maybe we'll go for an open mouth kiss.
An open mouth kiss?
Yes.
It can be of some duration. Do you need some Listerine? Are you good?
You know what? Where's that Listerine?
It's right, well, it was right here.
Right.
Listerine!
Who drank it?
We need some.
All right. Just because it's only proper that both parties be hygienic.
This is true.
Yes.
Okay, and I know you were gargling liver back there.
I was.
And he's, actually, Kyle's very generous.
He's also, yes, he is.
So he wants to make sure that he gives as well as gets.
Yes. All right.
So he's.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Okay.
That was aesthetically pleasing, I'm sure.
He did it over the actual gargle. Okay. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
well,
guys.
let's have this moment. We're going to bring the music down, and
Do
we're
we
going to
want
have.
the lights down as well, or would that be bad for video?
It might be bad for video.
Okay,
I don't know, Kyle. You're the video guy.
I mean, I'm sure Nick Murphy would rather have the lights on.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, he's
nodding
shaking his
yes.
head.
Yeah, because he likes to watch.
Okay. Sophia, are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Let's do this. Here it comes. All right. They're leaning in. Oh, that was nice.
That's sweet.
Very sweet. Sophia, come over here. How did that feel?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. Did it feel anything like you thought it would?
Vaguely, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Not really sure what I expected.
So you got the first one out of the way, and I'm going to ask this. And how did you feel? Was it you're a kissing machine now? So,
Thanks, yeah.
So how did it feel to you?
It felt nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she
A
has nice lips.
Oh,
Very good.
encouraging, Sophie.
Sophie, what about the stubble of the mustache and beard and stuff?
Did you feel that?
No, you don't really notice it too much.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Sophie, do you want to try a little bit more passionate kiss on this second one?
Why not?
Okay.
All right, let's go for a couple of seconds here, and then that can go into 1 hour. No, go for a couple.
Kyle, jam your tongue down. All right.
You
No,
got
don't
it.
do that.
All right.
A nice, tender, open mouth kiss. Now, this is going to feel totally different.
Okay.
And you just want your tongues to play a little.
Don't even think of us here.
yeah.
You get lost in that they don't think of the thousands and thousands and thousands of people listening.
Right.
You just have your tongues do a
Just
little
get-
dance. It's nice and light and easy. You don't want to like that. Just nice movements.
I
Sorry.
would-
Did
I
I
would
get you
say-
turned on, Kyle?
Yeah, that's so hot.
I would say you have to follow what Kyle is going to do.
Yes, exactly. Remember, this lunatic flew to Washington for a kiss. All right.
All right, let's try this. This is the real. And guys, have Kiss ready to go after this.
All right.
From
We're not even here. We're going to be absolutely quiet. Go for it.
All right, here we go. This is the real deal. They're leaning in, mouths open. Oh, yeah, keep going. Band is Breaking Benjamin on 93.3 WMMR, sooner or later. Casey was just mentioning they've got some new music coming down the pipeline.
Nice.
And he heard a little preview of it, and you were saying thumbs up.
I think it's a thumbs up. Ryan Shuttleworth actually popped into the office when they were listening to it as well, and he's a big Breaking Benjamin fan. He gave it 2 thumbs up.
All right.
2 from Ryan Shuttleworth.
Yeah, and so
he expended all his thumbs.
It should be arriving in less than a month.
All right, excellent.
Nice.
Looking forward to that. It's 13 minutes after 10 o'clock. Beautiful morning today, by the way. 85 degrees, sunny skies throughout the day. Partly cloudy from time to time, actually. 86 tomorrow and partly cloudy. It's a beautiful weekend. Let's take a look at... No, we already did. We finished traffic. Yeah, we're done. All right, we can do today's lesson question, and we can give away a pair of tickets to MMR Rocks. Kings of Leon. The show is Monday, the 23rd at the Man, and the question... I didn't even look at these. I apologize. Let's go with... All right, we'll give you a gift. This one was just a few minutes ago. The woman who was dating a jet would routinely have sex with the plane and would go how deep?
Okay.
215-263-WMMR. Let's see if you know the answer to that. All right, the woman who was dating a jet would routinely have sex with the plane and it would go how deep? 215-263-WMMR.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Join us in Clearwater Beach next March for the spring training trip of a lifetime. Go to phillysportstrips.com and you can place a small deposit to reserve your spot. We'll have a blast again. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Lottie Moss, the half-sister of Kate Moss, claiming she believes she actually overdosed on Ozempic. Lottie says she lost so much weight that she actually turned inside out.
Whoa!
That is too much weight. Yeah. Sylvester Stallone is reportedly hard at work at an autobiography. Stallone says he initially didn't understand what an autobiography was and was already 5 chapters into a book about his car.
Oh, my God.
And finally, Harvey Weinstein now facing a series of new indictments after more accusers have come forward. To make matters worse, Bill Cosby has begun referring to Weinstein as the GOAT. That's your Hollywood Trash.
All righty, we will see if someone knows the answer to this question. The woman who was dating a jet would routinely have sex with the plane, and it would go how deep? 215-263-WMMR. First caller in, Chris. So we will go over there. Hi, Chris. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
All right, Chris, how deep would the woman go?
I believe that would be wings deep.
Wings deep. Yes. Hold on a moment, Chris. We're going to set you up. You got a pair of tickets. MMR Rocks Kings of Leon. Can we please have fun tour Monday, September 23rd at the MAM with special guest Fantagram. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. You can go to WMMR.com and you'll have your chance to win some pit tickets as well.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, we'll start with this. It's been quite a week for Dave Grohl. First, he revealed that he had fathered a child out of wedlock. Then we found out his daughter had deactivated her Instagram in the middle of the scandal. And now he's having to deal with a woman claiming to be the mother who he says is not.
Is not, of course.
A woman going by the name Valerie Grayston posted to Instagram with a pic of a baby she says is Dave's and even bragged that Dave was by her side during her pregnancy.
That's beautiful.
With Roxy Junie Grohl. I mean, she's even using the last
Roxy
name.
Junie Grohl.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that doesn't.
A rep for Dave told the press the child in the picture wasn't Dave's, and the post has been deleted. Stay tuned for another chapter in the continuing drama, which will most likely come soon.
There is reportedly, and a couple of different papers are reporting this, journals, magazines, whatever you want to call them, that there was a quasi-porn star.
I saw that.
Right.
The New York Post ran a story about that.
Right. So it was in the Post, it was in and a couple other papers, and so I don't see a lot that confirms it, but a lot of them are reporting this relationship, that he had this long-term relationship. Was it a friends with benefits kind of thing? That's what they're suggesting.
While he was married?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess he's been married for 20 years, so yeah, that would make sense. So the criticism continues about the new version of Linkin Park, but Mike Shinoda obviously thinks that one part of it isn't true. At the kickoff of the band's From Zero World Tour on Tuesday, he told the crowd, it's not about erasing the past. It's about starting this new chapter into the future and coming out here for each and every one of you. Chester Bennington's son, Jamie, had made it clear that he didn't like the new edition of Linkin Park, and several now expired Instagram story posts and said Shinoda, quote, quietly erased my father's life and legacy in real time during International Suicide Prevention Month. But, you know, it's his dad, so I can understand he's sensitive, but I doubt the band is doing that.
And also, they can go on. I mean, they should go on.
You can. Yeah, exactly. It is a return to basics for Drowning Pool, with the band releasing its first single with vocalist Ryan McCombs in 13 years. Revolution, the final Amen, is releasing September 20th, and they're going to make a public appearance to celebrate. Drowning Pool will be at the Will Call Bar in Dallas from 4 to 6 p.m. on the 20th for Hard Rock Happy Hour. And yes, there will be a new single, but there could be also some of the band's Czech Dark Lager as well.
Oh, okay.
Appropriately named Revolution. made in collaboration with Rollertown Beer Works. And they've also been hitting the road with a killer, where am I coming from here? A Killer's Confession, Above Snakes, and the Failsafe on the No Authority Tour of 2024. So it's a good time for Drowning Pool right now. And then one last story. Marissa sent this to me. It's a bit of a rumor. The Warp Tour might make a comeback in 2025 to celebrate the 30th anniversary. That's a news being reported exclusively by Rockfeed. It's been said that the historic long-running festival tour that ended in 2019 is coming back, according to multiple sources. While those sources are not named, the additional information they appear to have provided concerns what Rockfeed describes as a series of festivals set for next year. It's also being said that Live Nation will be involved as well, as Warped Tour founder Kevin Lyman. Live Nation's potential involvement, however, has been met with scrutiny by fans. In the wake of Warped Tour's demise, the When We Were Young festival, hosted by Live Nation, has been a major draw. The single-day event faced such overwhelming ticket demand that additional dates were added at the Las Vegas location. Live Nation, which is currently facing an antitrust lawsuit from the U.S. government for operating as a monopoly with Ticketmaster, is a name that is generating concern from Warped Tour devotees. Many are worried that the company's involvement will mean exorbitant ticket prices for what was once a low-priced event. The final year of Warped Tour as a touring festival was 2018, with special events held in select cities the following year as a means of a 25th anniversary celebration and farewell. What was once one of the biggest summer tours in North America saw diminishing crowd sizes, which Lyman chalked up to, quote, loss of the sense of community. When he was speaking about it in 2019, he said, ultimately, when I started to think about winding this down after 25 years, it was, well, I think we've lost the sense of community, he said, adding that it took a community to make Warped Tour go. Some of that was self-inflicted. He said, I thought you addressed the fans that complain on Twitter. I was addressing everyone and tried to keep that conversation going, but you realize that you can't really negotiate, debate, or educate on social media.
Really?
Yeah. Lyman also placed some of the blame on the bands not wanting to be seen as just a, quote, Warped Tour band, as well as infighting among groups that were booked.
A, I think it could be a big hit.
Yes.
And B, I think its best option or possibility of being a big hit is to work through Live Nation, because they're going to have the weight to entice these bands to come in for this and make it appear to be a real deal.
Yep. It's just the fans are hesitant because of potential high ticket prices.
Yeah.
Because historically it had been a pretty cheap event to go to. But yeah, will it be a success? Hell yes, it will.
Yeah.
Most definitely. All right, and there you go. That is what I have in music news for you. Let us take a break. We will return and get our letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize. Wrap up the program. Stay with us. Keep going. And whenever you're ready.
Oh,
yeah! How about that? Woo! Nice.
Yeah, damn good. Did
that work?
Abs.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I got a couple of notes here that I want to just give. You know, if we're doing this like this, like a play or something like that. So I'm going to give you some notes. I think the kiss needs to end. The kiss needs to be tapered.
Yes.
All right.
That's the one thing.
On both sides.
He's right.
Right. All right. So I couldn't think of the right word.
So here, you want us to show you?
You don't go in. Yeah. You don't go in mouths open and you don't end mouths open. Right, Preston?
A light kiss to start, then the open mouth kiss, then a light little signature kiss.
Right. So as you're pulling away, it's and because you're lost in each other. So as you're pulling away, a slow kiss, another kiss, and it winds down.
So are we doing this one more time? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Would you like to try one more time?
Sure.
I love her.
Sophie.
She's awesome.
You're hilarious.
She's awesome. Okay.
All right, Kyle, you cool with one more?
Absolutely.
All right,
Okay.
so a light lip kiss, tongue kiss, lip kiss. All right, you ready?
Okay.
All right. All right, here we go. There's a little kiss.
Slowly.
Now the tongue kiss, and now a little signature kiss on the end.
That was the best.
Nice job. Nice job. That was very special.
So, you apply the laws of physics to. You should absolutely. Honestly, you're great. There's no issue here, and in your own accord, when you feel you're ready, I mean, guys should be beating down the door for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And you can tell them all about Newton's third law and everything.
Yeah,
So-
and you're smart. That's even a better turn on.
Kyle, thank you, man. That was
no
very
problem.
cool. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Kyle McCarty.
Yes, what a good man.
Thanks for kisser. And Sophie is now over that hurdle.
Yeah, and a nice hug.
That's wonderful. All right. Sophie, we're going to switch up. We're going to put Brandon where you are. So let him take your headphones.
Good job, Kyle.
And then we're gonna get this done for him. Same way. And you know what? You get the benefit of going second. You've seen how it's done. We don't really need to coach you because we did all that with Sophie. So you think you're ready to give this a try?
Sure.
Okay.
Remember, you're a good guy. You're a hard worker. You have a pleasant way about you. You're going to kill this. You're going to go great.
All right, we need our professional kisser to come into the studio now. It's yet another worker here. She is a production assistant on the Preston and Steve Show. She's been working with us for a while. And what's wonderful, Valentine's Day is her favorite holiday of the year. This is Mars. Her name is Damara. And she is going to be your first kiss, Brandon. So good morning, Damara.
Hey, good morning.
Nice to see you. What do you think about all this?
I think it's really cute.
Yeah.
I'm actually like a little bit nervous.
Are you really?
Yeah.
It's because you have Valentine's Day is your favorite day. You embrace love. You're very much into we've talked about this and vampires and the sexuality and all of that stuff. The romance and the gothic romance involved with that sort of stuff. So this is something that's very important to you. Do you remember your first kiss?
Okay, I really tried to think about this, and I don't remember my first kiss. I had a boyfriend in 6th grade, and maybe we kissed, but like, I don't really remember.
Really?
There's been a lot of people. There's been a lot of people.
All right. Okay. My bad. We're a little different then.
You got to understand, she's so cool, Damar. She's just a unique individual, and we love her to death. But listen, but you march to the beat of your own drum, which makes you that much more special.
I mean, so we were all surprised to find out that your favorite holiday was Valentine's Day. We assumed that it was going to be like Halloween. Damara drives around with the skeleton in the passenger seat of her car.
Which I just realized that was her maybe like a month or two ago. I said something to Casey, and I'm like, you know she has a skeleton in her front seat, right? Casey was like, yep, drives with it every day.
And she posted a picture last night of her chewing on raw meat.
Yeah.
For Valentine's Day.
Don't worry, I brushed my teeth today.
Certainly a unique character. And also, I guarantee you this, Brandon, you will never have anyone in your life from here on out that has a more unique makeup application than she does, and you're getting this for your first kiss. So Damara has very, very unique eye makeup that she does.
It's really
every day.
cool, very precise. And
It has hearts today.
In fact, she did it once to you.
She did.
Yeah.
She did like a corpse face on me.
You're pretty rocking.
Damara, you want to give out your Instagram account while we're on the air?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my radio account is radio.dmp.
That's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh, my God. Yeah, my modeling and everything else where you can see the raw meat picture. That's, it's ossuary_angel.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Spell that for people.
It's OSSUARY_ANGEL.
And by the way, I had to look up ossuary. I was curious when I saw your screen name, and that means what?
It's a cemetery, but it's like basically a cemetery underground, and so it's like a crypt where you can see like the skeletons and corpses.
How's this sounding to you, buddy? It's pretty cool. Because he's into metal, right?
Yeah, look at him. He's wearing an Iron Maiden shirt with a corpse on the front of it. Eddie is the corpse.
Yeah.
Did we score for you or what?
Yeah.
Nice. Is that like the catacombs in France? Is that an ossuary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so did you watch Kyle and Sophie?
I did,
Okay, so I think we should follow that same thing. First time, just a nice little tender kind of screen kiss, lips only, and then we'll see where we want to go from there, okay?
He's a nice guy. You just hear him, and he's just a warm and gentle guy, so I think this is going to be very special. So,
all right, Brandon, you ready? Ready to finally do this?
Does she need to freshen her breath first, though?
Would you like to?
Yeah, would you like some raw meat?
Raw meat last
Let's
night.
get Josh and Haley with some guitar music, just some romantic acoustic music. By the way, they're going to be performing tomorrow night at Scanlon's Saloon in Manayunk from 9 till 2 a.m. It's nice little acoustic guitar music. And they play romantic music, but they play fun music as well. So But this morning we wanted some romance. Okay, you ready? All right, let's get this underway.
Right.
Here we go. First kiss for Brandon and begin. All right, they're leaning in. Oh, that's a nice kiss.
Nice.
It was a little bit short, and Mars did this really nice thing where she took his face in her hand.
Yeah.
And
very nice.
How did that feel, by the way, Brandon?
Cool.
This dude's chill, man.
He's totally chill.
This is great, though. You feel comfortable and supported here. That's cool. And that the hand thing on your face, did that make you feel a little bit more relaxed?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so let's go for something a little bit more passionate. You ready to try this out?
And remember, take some time and turn yourself over to it.
It's
all
a
right?
dance. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a dance. Okay, whenever you guys are ready. Here we go. Mars is smiling. Here we go. This is a bigger, better kiss. Oh, they're doing it right.
Ah.
That looks.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, they are. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
There it is, buddy.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we wanted. Oh, you can go home now.
Guess who's going to be king of the construction site?
Oh my God, Brandon.
You got boner?
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
I didn't even think about that.
Because we do.
I do. Oh, Brandon, he's blushing.
That's awesome.
Honestly, that was wonderful.
Get over to this mic. Is your heart racing a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
What'd you think?
Oh my God.
That was pretty cool.
I mean, the texture of somebody else's tongue on your tongue is there's nothing else like it, right?
No, it's not weird. Like you think it's like something weird, but it's not.
Do you know what it is? It's honestly, people. It's an expression of coming together. It's a physicality. There's nothing like it. You know.
Hey, Mars, by the way, how did he do? What do you think?
I think you did pretty well. You're kind of like going a little harder with your tongue than you need to, but otherwise it was fine.
So you would say,
Yeah, a little
softer. And
Soften up the tongue.
And wouldn't you say that that's the key to any bit of intimacy?
Yeah,
Right?
ease up, and then if you feel the other person going for it, that's when you make the move to go a little more forcefully.
Do we want to try again by any chance?
Would you be okay with that, Mars?
That's fine.
Just a little bit of notes. All right,
I mean, that was a
soften
home
tongue.
run, but I don't.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, let's try this one more time. A little softer. Whenever you guys are ready, let's go ahead. Here we go.
There we go. Remember what you said.
Mars and Brennan, a little softer, a little easier.
Wow.
And see, Mars is doing. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's. A little better this time, Mars?
Yeah, much better.
Brandon, did you learn something on that last time?
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God, that's wonderful.
I'm so happy for you because you're
I am
such a
too.
nice guy, and she's very she was very caring and took care of you. That's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
I mean, he's going to be out all weekend kissing. We need an
I think so.
update on Monday.
I think
He's
you're
going to
right,
kiss the
Kathy.
security guard on the way.
We broke the dam. man.
Mars, you're the best. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. We appreciate it. We have another friend that we're going to have over for this momentous occasion who's
Another
going to
kiss.
step up to the microphone right now. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend, he was here just the other day. Steven Singer is here.
Good morning, guys.
Nice to see you, sir.
Wow, is that a gold rose in your pocket, or you just happen to see it?
Steven
This is exciting.
Steven wanted to be here because it's all about love, and you guys are, well, you're love experts down to Steven Singer.
I am in the love business. Buddy Love is here. He thought he was going to have to stand in and kiss somebody, but
That's your dog.
he's available.
Yeah.
Buddy the jeweler, he is here, kissing all the girls and flirting. Wow, you guys did great.
Yeah,
thank you.
I don't know how you made something out of this bit, but you
93.3 WMMR. We like that band, Nothing But Thieves. The song's called Sorry.
Sorry.
93.3 WMMR. We're in the S's of the back to school A to Z. We'll dive into your soul in a little while for a few songs, and then we'll get sour and we'll head down south, and then we'll spend some time in space, or at least Pierre will. He's going to be handling this for the remainder of the next few hours. We've enjoyed bringing you the back to school A to Z. We're hoping that we'll get towards the latter end on Monday and still have some to share.
Yeah.
Before the weekend.
Seems like that's a likelihood.
Yeah. And we'll start some interesting stuff next week. I'll tell you about that in a moment. But I do want to thank our one and only guest today. We hadn't seen her in a number of years, and it was great to catch up with Alexis, Texas. Adult performer, and she will be at Club Risque tonight, 10 at midnight in Philly, and then at the Bristol location tomorrow, 10 at midnight. You can go to clubrisque.com for all the details. But it was cool to catch up with her. We had a good time. Connoisseur was fun. We had talked about all kinds of stuff. We gave tons of things away. But now we leave you in the capable hands of the one and only Mr. Pierre Robert, who's here in our studio this morning.
The only questionable word was capable.
Yeah. Hands are involved. Pierre is involved.
Hands, there's me. Capability is another topic altogether.
Not sure.
It's up for grabs.
It is.
All right. Well, you are capable of sharing one last letter for the word of the week.
No.
Okay.
No.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter. All right, and the Preston and Steve Show is indeed brought to you today by the letter
Y as in yesterday.
All right, we have a word now. Do you know what it is? Be the fifth caller, and we'll see if you win the prize. 215-263 WMMR. Caller number 5. We will let you take a crack at it. So get in touch with us right about now. While we're waiting for that call to come in, what's on the agenda today?
Right about now. The Funk So Funky.
Soul Brother.
Well, how's that go?
Right about now.
My
A Funk Soul Brother.
Check it out now.
A Funk Soul Brother.
I thought it was saying the Funk So Funky. That's what I was always singing.
Oh, no.
Right about now, the Funk So Funky. Anyway, right about now, we'll continue with the letter S. And as you just mentioned, we have now entered territory that we haven't been into in terms of the length of time the A to Z has run since we were downtown at 5th and Market Streets. That's when we, one or two of them went 3 weeks. This yesterday just hit 2 weeks. At noon yesterday, it was 2 weeks. And we're still in the SOs. Yeah, so... S is a long letter. T is a very long letter. And Chuck was saying, did he say Monday to you?
He said Monday.
We were guessing out loud.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Monday.
He told me yesterday he thought it might be Tuesday.
All right.
So, but it'll fall how it falls.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Me too.
It's amazing. The general reaction, when people go out of the way to tell you I'm loving the A to Z this year. So there you go. I'm sure there's people who aren't, but I'm hearing a lot of good.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about it. So I mean, it's just fun.
Yep.
It's like Christmas. It only comes once a year.
Yeah.
So enjoy it.
Nice. All right, we'll go to the phones, see if we can get a winner. We're looking for caller number 5, and let me see. We will go to Carrie, I believe. Hi, Carrie. Good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Good morning to see you, Carrie. You are the 5th caller, so you've been keeping track of the letters. What is our word this week?
Well, I hope I'm saying this right, but it's Paray, P-A-R-A-Y.
I'm afraid that is not correct.
Oh. Sorry, that's incorrect, Carrie.
No, really?
Yeah.
Funk is really funky.
Sorry.
We're going on to another caller, but thank you, though. The next caller after that is Carl.
Carl, good to see you.
Hi, Carl. How you doing?
Great.
What is the correct word of the week?
Party.
Great day in my morning.
Party.
You two cat people.
Yesterday's letter, Casey had said T, or was it you, Pierre? T as in tangerine?
I said T as in
was it?
tangerine.
Yeah, okay, so definitely that was correct. Carl, you have a 4-pack of tickets to go and see this sold-out Lincoln Park concert Monday night in Brooklyn. How about that?
Wow.
I'm ready.
All right. Happy to hear that. Hang on the line. We'll get your information. You are good to go, my man. And don't forget to check out the new single From Zero, which is available November 15th, featuring the new single, The Emptiness Machine. So congratulations to you, sir. I want to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Trinity Rehab. Locations all over, trinity-rehab.com. Also brought to you by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin' and Acme Markets. Fresh foods, local flavors. Next week, bunch going on. We will kick off MMR's Good Money It, 8 a.m. on Monday. Your chance to win $1,000 5 times a day, Monday through Friday. And we have a bunch of guests joining us next week. Jeff Tremaine will be joining us. The director, Brad Furman. We've had him on a few times. M. Night Shyamalan will be joining us. Yeardley Smith, the voice of Lisa Simpson, will be on. Comedian Greg Warren, who we've known for years. A member of the Savannah Bananas is going to be stopping by. A few members of the Savannah Bananas will be joining us. Comedian Pearlmania 500.
Yeah, so Alex Pearlman.
Alex Pearlman will be in the studio, and we're probably going to add a few more because MM Barbecue is next week.
That's right.
Oh, wow. So we're leading up to a lot of stuff going on, and we hope that you will join us. So that is it. We are done. Rage on. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see you later, gang. Bye-bye.